All right, hope you're having a great day. It is 3-0. Oh, no, it's 7-3 now. Giants leading Dallas. About 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Turkey football south of the border. Earlier, it was the Lions knocking off the Bears 23-20. Just barely. It looked like it was going to be a blowout. And then we'll explain why Jay's struggling with his laptop as we go along. It looked like it was going to be a blowout. The Bears probably should have at least got the game into overtime. We'll discuss that. We got a very special guest joining us in about 15 or 16 minutes. Former Edmonton Oil King, now with Utah HC. That's who the Oilers play tomorrow. Dylan Guenther is going to be on the show. Going to be a pleasure to catch up with him. Recently played his 100th game in the National Hockey League. Oilers at Utah tomorrow. We have coverage at 6 o'clock with the Oil Stream pregame show with Tom and Hernan setting up the 7 o'clock game, and then they'll be on afterwards as well. Now, as you know, the Edmonton Elks are interviewing potential head coaches this week. My colleague Jay Milne has something to tell you in that pursuit.
Well, yeah, hearing a lot of positive things coming from the interview with Mark Killam, who was the former special teams coordinator and assistant head coach of the Calgary Stampeders. I know Jarius Jackson has, as reported, it was reported that he has an interview tomorrow. But from what I'm hearing, this is all but done. That Mark Killam will be the next head coach of the Edmonton Elks.
Mark Killam is 45 years of age, born in April of 1979, grew up in Lethbridge, played football for the University of Alberta Golden Bears from 1997 to 2001. Long time with the Calgary Stampeders. Started in strength and conditioning in 2005, also as a defensive assistant, special teams coordinator since 2010, and also assistant head coach since 2019. So long time with the Stamps. You know, he's been talked about as a potential head coach for quite a while. As somebody who might be the next one to get a job eventually. It appears that job may be with the Edmonton Elks, but we'll talk about this further as we move along this afternoon. Mark Killam, according to our glue guy, Jason Milne. How would you say the leading candidate?
Strongest contender.
Strongest contender.
Inside track for sure. And, I think surprise would be the word that most people would come to top of mind. This has been talked about as something that was going to be going to Rick Campbell, right? Mm-hmm. You look at Rick Campbell and Maximic coming back. But when you start to look at this, you may see that maybe the boxes are checking more in favor of Mark Killam. The old boys club mentality, that wouldn't hold anymore. This would be a fresh start. And what I said to you earlier in the bullpen was that these opportunities are very rare where you can clean house and start fresh. Bringing Rick Campbell back wouldn't be doing that. That would be, they got Ed Hervey. That's a little bit of the old Eskimo way, right? But this is an opportunity for a coach who has been interviewed for head coaching roles several times in off seasons in past years. So this is not a surprise. Dave Naylor kind of summed it up this morning on the Nielsen show, where he said, look, just because Mark Killam was interviewed and didn't get the job previously does not mean he's still a strong candidate for this position, and doesn't mean maybe he's even improved more. So, this is a guy that's had rumored to have been a head coach for a long time, and from what it looks like right now is looking to get a shot here at Edmonton.
All right, so we will keep an eye on this story, but again, as our own Jay Milne here was the first to report, it appears that Mark Killam, longtime special teams coordinator with the Calgary Stampeders, the leading candidate to be the coach of the Double E. What did Justin Dunk say? Interview with Jarius Jackson tomorrow.
Yeah.
I almost hate to say this. I would think that is a token interview.
I would say so as well.
Somebody texted when they were looking for a GM that we didn't think it was going to be G-Roy, and we had a nasty text into 780-218-9999 saying, is that a slap in the face to G-Roy Simon? And we said no. But I'll ask you this, Jay. Is it a slap in the face to interview Jarius Jackson last when other candidates, are appeared to be ahead of him? Like, what's he thinking being the last guy interviewed, and now if he's seeing this story come out? Or does he think, to hell with it, I'm going to go in there and knock their socks off?
Well, yeah, you have to think, the hell with it, I'm just going to go in there and do my job.
Right.
But he was the head coach. He is the current, interim head coach, right? So interviewing him last would be quite normal to say, okay, we're going to see what everybody else can bring to the table, and then somebody that's been here, we're going to see how you're looking to change things. So it gives you a good mix of, what others are looking to do and how they see this team.
Right.
And then to ask the person that's been closest to this team, what was wrong? What are you going to fix? How are we going to move forward? Now, with the moves that have been made around the leagues at quarterbacks, it would appear as though all signs are pointing to Trey Ford staying here at Edmonton.
Okay.
Which means Jarius Jackson will not be the head coach.
Yeah, I think even if Ford were gone or were leaving or whatever,
yeah,
I don't think Jackson would have been the head coach. But anyway, we'll dive into that a little bit more, and we want to hear from you on this. We have a lot of things we're going to want to hear from you about today. 780-218-9999 is the EST inbox. Jump into the nasty chat on YouTube as well. Already some people off and running there. Well, a lot of people just saying hello at the start of the show, which we appreciate. And give us a thumbs up. As Matt Hyman says, no pleasure delayers. Smash the thumbs up now. We appreciate that for sure. Thanksgiving football south of the border. It appeared... now, this is the interesting thing, Jay, and you're probably finding this out. When you get to work in sports media, sports broadcasting, we're an all-sports streaming station. You get to have the game on TV, but it's also not like you got the day off and you can just sit there and totally watch it. So my experience of Bears and Lions was that the Lions were dominating, and it was over at halftime. And then all of a sudden, halfway through the fourth quarter, I noticed it's actually not over. So here's how the game ended, if people haven't seen this, or maybe you're catching us from work. So the Bears had a penalty, so they were 2nd and 20. I'm just trying to get the exact yard line here, but they were 2nd and 20 on Detroit's half of the field, suddenly down 3. Like, basically, Detroit failed to put this game away, and Detroit's still there. So Detroit, Chicago is moving the ball down 3. They have a 2nd and 20 from the Detroit 35. And Caleb Williams gets sacked at the 41 with about 36 seconds left. They had one timeout left, about 32 seconds left. I think he got sacked. They had one timeout left, but they didn't call it because they're probably thinking we need to now gain about 10 to 15 yards and call it before we kick.
Which was the right move at that time.
So Caleb Williams is calling all the guys back to line up. They take a long time to line up. We rewatched the replay. It looked like he could have snapped the ball with 12, 11 seconds left, but then we kind of looked and there were a couple receivers weren't set. So he waits for them to set. He looks around some more. You can see players and coaches on the bench yelling, snap it, get onto it. He finally snaps it with 6 seconds left, throws a deep ball that is incomplete. And I was even saying to you, and they had 5 receivers spread out. I thought they were going to call a quarterback draw. I thought he'd snap it with 15 seconds left, run straight ahead as far as he can. Call timeout in the middle of the field, and kick a long field goal for the tie. The Bears completely botched it.
Even after the fact that Caleb Williams took 26 seconds to then ultimately snap the ball, which was way too long, calling a play. What are you calling? Take the ball and run upfield.
Yep.
Get as much 2-3 yards. That means a lot for the kicker. But even for the coach to sit on the sideline and watch this all happen and allow him to snap the ball. Call a timeout, for God's sake.
Right.
Right? At least give yourselves a chance to think about it. At that point, it was still the target line, I think, was 6 or 7 yards ahead. But that is a target for somebody to kick that is with some confidence.
Yeah.
That kick could have been made from there.
But once you're down inside 15 seconds, if you call the timeout, you're still guilty of wasting all that time. But I guess you could have then called an 8-yard out and tried to get a little closer. And if
Yes.
it's incomplete, then you still have a Hail Mary.
And if nothing's there right off the bat, Caleb Williams, chuck this thing into row 6.
Right.
Let's stop the clock, and then we'll go for the Hail Mary field goal.
The sack by Detroit was huge. I don't want to downplay that they made a play to make it 2nd and 20 because they had a gain, to get inside the Detroit 20 when they had a holding penalty. There was also a pass interference that helped Detroit keep the drive, or helped Chicago keep the drive alive. So what looked like was going to be probably like a 31-3 game at one point or something like that turned into a thriller that will be a memorable Thanksgiving Day game for the Lions, almost blowing it, and then Detroit and then Chicago finding a new way to blow it.
I'm sorry, but if Matt Eberflus is not removed from his head coaching role from after this game, then Chicago's got bigger problems than
How long
anything.
has he been the coach there now? I don't even know.
I think this is his 2nd year,
Okay.
and he stunk last year. They kept him around, which was to the disdain of Bears fans.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of things. You can blame the coach. I also...
No, that's on the coach.
I also
this is a
blame the
rookie
players,
quarterback.
though.
This is a rookie quarterback. That's going to happen. You can allow one of those in your rookie season.
So so do you think he should have called the timeout as soon as the sack happened?
Once he saw things were not happening fast enough, just call the timeout. Give yourself 15, 17
Because you're down to 2
seconds.
downs left anyway. At that point, you're not winning. You're hoping to kick for the tie.
And
when they were 1st and 10 on the 25, they're playing to win.
Well, I mean, hindsight's 20/20, and knowing that they could have just kicked the field goal there. But if you then call it with 15 to 18 seconds left, right? It was down to 33 seconds.
Right.
Let's say half of that. At 16 seconds, timeout. Then you got 1, maybe even 2 plays to hit an out.
Right.
Or get the ball 5 yards downfield, get in a more comfortable field, get out of bounds, and then kick a field goal. Have the quick rush where they swap the players and everybody rushes onto the field.
But the thing I will say is, and I'm not disagreeing with that, but as you know, I like to debate and bring up other things.
You? Doesn't sound like you.
Do you think that Caleb Williams was using bad grammar in the huddle, and that's why the players couldn't line up properly? No,
he
seriously.
wasn't talking. He was going like this.
But seriously, is it not also on all the players to recognize we got to line up as quickly as possible? Because there were now I know some people might say, "Oh, well, the coach has to have them prepared. The coach has to have them prepared." But sometimes players just blow it.
Yep, that they did.
So maybe they were assuming, "Oh, coach is going to call timeout," whereas the coach is thinking, "I can't call timeout till the play before we kick."
It was, Vic writes in. He says, "Just have to analyze the game under a microscope. So many details that combined to make a horrible mess."
Right. Yeah, well,
that's true.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it.
And yes, it was a combination. It was a comedy of errors in reality. So call a timeout. Take a breather. It could have been so much better managed at the end of that game. But, I mean, as Spency 5 Cents knows, we're happy about that because, I mean, we still covered, right?
Who's we in this situation?
Spency 5 Cents and I.
Oh, you and him.
Well,
you
he
share
said,
a bet?
No.
Are you guys share a bank account?
We put a parlay in yesterday on all 3 games, right? We took the Bears to cover at 9.5.
Okay.
Which they did. We got the Cowboys to cover 3.5. They got a win by 3.5.
Okay.
So 4. And then I forget, who did we take in the I forget
Packers,
what the last one.
Dolphinos tonight.
Dolphins.
Well, I don't know any of them personally. I understand why he was saving that timeout, but I guess the argument would be the sack changes everything. Because now you are not going to win the game in regulation.
That's right.
So 3rd and whatever it was, call a timeout, and then you tell your quarterback, okay, we need to gain 10 to 15 yards. We don't need a first down, and then we're going to rush the field goal team on and kick it.
Yep.
And then you have a moment, because if he calls a timeout as soon as the sack happens, he's got 30 seconds. Then they can call a 6-second play, and you got 22 seconds to line up for a field goal, which is enough time to do it. We've seen teams run in and kick it. It's not ideal. So really, they didn't react, because I would argue that if he was going to call the timeout, he should have done it right with 30 seconds left, not waiting till there was 12. Though I guess that still would have been preferable to not anything. And you know what? That long bomb pass they tried for, If it was completed, they still wouldn't have won because he would have been tackled immediately on like the 5.
Yeah, that was even, adding
anyway,
fuel to the fire.
This is the beauty of football, and this is I know every sport sort of has what ifs, but it's the extra challenge of managing the clock and down and distance in football, right? And it's because you can actually set up your play. I mean, in hockey, sure, there's things that happen, but there's so much going on. You could say, well, why didn't a guy stick handle one more time and then shoot high blocker instead of shooting when he did low glove? In hockey, you can always say, well, because 4 people were slashing him at the time, and he couldn't see the clock, right? So he thought he had to shoot it pretty quick. Football has that very much like, this is the situation. We know the other team is going to do things, but what are we going to do? And the Bears ultimately didn't do what they needed to do. All right, and we'll keep you updated on Giants-Cowboys as well. Hey, do you get a new computer, my friend?
No comment, Reid.
All right, so Jay Milne today did not bring his laptop to work. I don't know where it is.
Can I blame my wife?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to blame my
She
wife.
needs to be interrogated about this as well.
Yes. The
Mrs. Milne, do you expect me to believe?
She's a coach at Ardrossan. She coaches the junior high senior basketball girls team.
Okay.
They had their first tryout this morning. So she was there, and my daughter's trying out. So I wanted to see how it was going, how it went. I wanted to hear all the buzz. But apparently they had a meeting after that took really long. So I was like, well, where are you? Because I wanted to be in here for 10:30 to watch the start of the Detroit game.
Okay.
I'm like, I got to go. And she wasn't answering her phone. I was stressing out. If you're close to me, you know this. I overreact in situations like this, and I get really nervous and worried for no reason at all. And then as soon as I got home, she got home, and I was like, where were you? Why didn't you answer your phone? And she's like, we were in a meeting, but it went really well. The girls are awesome. It's going to be a great season. Okay, cool. But I got to go. And I just left. And I didn't even realize that I had left my laptop on the kitchen table. I didn't even realize that my bag, my satchel, was way lighter than normal. I was in such a blur. So yeah, my laptop's at home. So I'm laptopless. I've never felt so disjointed in a long time, Reid. It's actually, I feel naked.
So where'd you get this one?
This is the Hangout computer.
Oh, that's the Hangout computer.
Maddie borrowed it to me by the grace and kindness of his heart.
Lent it to you. He lent it to you.
Borrowed, lent. I don't follow Lent, so there, But yeah, it's just nothing's normal. Like
throws off your routine.
It's just man. I
even
left my phone on ring. I mean, I'm just
were
a
like,
giant
where
mess.
am I getting emails to and all this kind of stuff? And
I'm
everything
a hot
was
mess.
different. So that is our off-topic topic for William Huff. Not go buy Jay a laptop. It's what's the worst thing you've ever forgotten to bring. And at first, we were going to say bring to work, but we decided to just cut it off.
Let's open
What's
it
the
up.
worst thing you've ever forgotten to bring? The off-topic topic for William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading graphics with design, print, and install, all in-house for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout at 780-454-4536. What's the worst thing you've ever forgotten to bring? EST inbox for texting is 780-218-9999. If you're comfortable putting it in the nasty chat, go do so on YouTube. And you can email Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com. Okay. Good stuff.
Matt at Garrison saying maybe Wifey Poo will drop it off to you. Once I knew that I could actually have a laptop just for this, just for you nasties, so I could keep tabs on the nasty chat and the EST inbox. I said, no, honey, because we're half an hour away, 35 minutes.
Yeah,
it's a long time for her to commit to. Sickler asked the same thing. Did you ask your wife? Because essentially it was her fault. So no, and I am gonna get a lashing at home for making this on her. Of course, I'm kidding, but I was a little distraught, and it is weird.
You're doing better now.
Thank you.
You're much better now. We have a conversation with Dylan Guenther, former Edmonton Oil King, now with the Utah Hockey Club. That's who the Oilers play tonight. We have him when we get back. First, we got Zach Kubish with the sports update.
With 3 games in the NFL, the Lions beat the Bears 23-20, while the Giants and Cowboys are throwing it down with the Giants up 7-6 early in the second quarter. Later, it's the Dolphins kicking off against the Packers, where you can join Lieutenant Eric for the action down at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge on Fort Road for 6:20 kickoff. And according to EST's very own Jason Milne, Mark Killam, former special teams coordinator and assistant head coach for the Stampeders, is a leading candidate for the vacant head coach position of the Edmonton Elks. The NHL has an off day with the Oilers in Utah tomorrow, while the Oil Kings hit the ice tonight with the Hitmen out in Calgary on a 10-game WHL slate. And FIFA has placed the Canadian men's team at 31st in the world rankings to end the year. This is the highest ranking Canada has received, with number 33 being the previous best back in 2022. This sports update has been brought to you by Wheelers RV and Boat Storage. Conveniently located 10 minutes west of St. Albert, Wheelers RV is your safe and secure place to store whatever it is you want to store. Visit them at wheelersrvstorage.com to take advantage of their limited time offer. Buy 6 months and get one free. Go to wheelersrvstorage.com today and get your storage needs taken care of. After the break, the Reid Wilkins Show returns. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
Ready for an unforgettable sports experience? It's the EST Flyaway to LA. Presented by the 780. Listen daily for the EST Flyaway keyword. Once you hear it, text us at 780-218-9999 for your chance to qualify to fly to LA. Round trip flights for 2, hotel and car rentals, all to go see Edmonton face off against either LA or Anaheim. Plus, experience the brand new Intuit Dome as the Clippers tip off against the Warriors, and top it all off with the Rams kicking off against the Cardinals at SoFi Stadium. This is more than just a trip. This is the ultimate sports experience. The EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780 and Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Fuge Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store, or use the code EST when shopping online at fugesausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Fuge Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of The Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
You know, this year, I want to give the gift of Christmas spirit.
Okay, well, what's the going price for Christmas spirit?
Actually, surprisingly affordable. $25 brings Christmas to life for a senior living at a Capital Care Center.
Oh, that's amazing.
Well, yeah, and they have a community shuttle, so Christmas spirit continues all year long. They can go out and do things and just be reminded there's an entire village of people who care about them.
Become a part of our village at Capital Care Center. Donate at capitalcarefoundation.net.
We are coming to you from the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown, personal injury law firm, the heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience. James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. JamesHBrown.com is the website. Book your private consultation today. Before we get to my chat with Dylan Guenther from the Utah Hockey Club, the off-topic topic, what's the worst thing you've ever forgotten to bring?
Yeah, there's we figured a couple of these would come in. Uncle Jesse says, I forgot skates once for a tournament out in Andrew.
Not good.
That's terrible, right? You open your bag. Oh, gosh. This one comes in from an unnamed person. Came home and forgot to pick up the kids. Oh, had to go back to get them. That's happened. That happened to me once at a football banquet. I think my parents drove separate, and they both thought the other one had me, and I was left there.
Just like
Colchester Hall in Sherwood Park.
And that's what happened. Homer left Bart, which is why Bart got the dad, and Homer went and got Pepe in a retaliation. Remember?
That's right.
That was from that episode.
Pepe, that's the dog, right? No, Santa's little helper was the dog.
Yeah, Pepe was the not foster child, but the little brother or whatever.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, Papa Homer, I'm
terrified.
Learned, Pepe.
I'm terrified of forgetting my kids somewhere someday. I'm sure it'll happen.
Jared, I drove an hour and a half out of town to install an air conditioner and forgot the air conditioner. That would be a bummer. Chris asking if the Oilers are flying out today. Yes. Chris, I will tell you as a rule of thumb in the regular season, the team will not travel on the day of a game unless something unusual happens. So for this back-to-back, Utah and Colorado, they will fly to Denver right after tomorrow night's game. They will not sleep in Salt Lake City and fly to Denver. So yes, today was a practice and fly for the Oilers. Zach Hyman skated. He's going to travel. We'll see when he makes his return. Maybe he can play on the road trip. We'll see.
This one might be the tops though at this point in the show. Andrea from Calgary says, from Grey Cup 2014 in Vancouver, back when physical tickets were still a thing, the person in our group from Calgary that was responsible for the tickets forgot to bring them.
Oh, that's such a nightmare, especially when it's an event like that.
We still don't let him live that down, and every year still ask if he has the tickets, even though they are electronic. Oh, man. In Vancouver.
Oh, that's sad.
Coming from Calgary, that would what would you do?
Well, could you not go to the ticket booth and say, hey, we got these tickets. Here's all our credit card information. Here's our ID. We seriously don't have them. Can they be reprinted? Could you not do something like that? I don't know,
Andrea. If you could let us know what happened there, we'd love to know.
780-218-9999. If you are consuming us on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button. We're off to a good start as we try to get to 100 every show. Okay, used to talk to this guy, probably was on Inside Sports 2 or 3 times a season when he was at Edmonton Oil King. He is now with the Utah Hockey Club. They practiced earlier today. He does have a prior commitment this afternoon. So about an hour ago, I sat down and had this conversation with Utah forward Dylan Guenther. Well, Dylan, thanks a lot for taking the time to join the Reid Wilkins Show. How are you doing?
Great. I'm doing well. How are you doing? Nice to be back on.
Yeah, nice to talk to you again. You were on Inside Sports several times as an Edmonton Oil King, so it's great to have you on as an NHLer. Before we dive into the hockey stuff, you're an Edmonton kid, but following your NHL dreams in the United States. So what are you fully into U.S. Thanksgiving? What's happening for you today?
I don't know if you're going to ask me that, but just a thing with the team at the rink. So, lots to be thankful for. Healthy, playing in the best league in the world, and having a lot of fun. So it's good to recognize those things.
Okay. Awesome stuff. I know you're thankful to be doing what you're doing for sure. Lots to talk about around you and your franchise. I mean, take me back to when you found out, oh, okay, we're moving. Like, I've been a Coyote, now I'm going to be a Utah. You didn't even know what the name was going to be at the time. What was that whole process like of transitioning the franchise to another city from your perspective?
I think for me it was probably easier than a lot of other guys, but it's cool. It all happened really quick. I mean, we kind of found out as soon as everybody else did. So, I think just excitement. I mean, we love it here in Utah. The fans are unbelievable. They're at every game until the last minute, no matter the score. So we're super, super grateful for that. And for me, it was pretty smooth. I mean, I don't have a lot of stuff, like a couple suitcases. I got a car, and that's about it. So I was just kind of moving, to go play hockey in a different city rather than moving my, family and, guys have kids and whatnot. So it all went pretty smooth.
There's speculation about the name. I know a couple things are out there, but I won't ask you to go specifically down that road. But what's it like telling people I play for the hockey club? Is it different not having a traditional nickname?
Yeah, I guess it's a little different. It's a new team too, so not everybody knows. But yeah, just say I play in Utah. I play for the Utah hockey team, and yeah, that's kind of how it goes, I guess.
Okay, like you mentioned, the crowd seems pretty good. And there has been minor league hockey there a lot in the past. Do you find the fans that are going and are on board, are they pretty knowledgeable, or what's it been like there?
Not really. They're not. I mean, I don't really know. I'm from Canada, right? I'm from Edmonton. Everybody knows what hockey is. They all know the rules. But you definitely learn how much more complex the game is when you're explaining it to people. You don't really realize all the components. But no, I mean, they love the fast pace, the hitting, the fighting, all those kind of things that I guess new fans would. But it's growing fast. I mean, the people here, they all know about the hockey team, wherever you go. So I think in a few years, this is going to be, it's already great, but this is going to be a really fun place to play.
Okay. I got to ask you about when you were in Arizona, you guys played in quite a small rink, right? Like, what was it, 5,000 people or whatever like that, which seemed to have a good atmosphere, but obviously much smaller than a regular NHL rink. What was it like playing in Mullet Arena?
Yeah, I mean, it's different. I think now I have a little bit more of a perspective on it. Just because I came from junior and the rinks were smaller, so it wasn't a huge transition. I actually kind of like playing there. We seem to do well there, but yeah, I mean, it's small. There's no denying that, and what we have and the setup we have in Utah is it's better.
Okay. Dylan Guenther from the Utah Hockey Club joining us this afternoon on the Reid Wilkins Show. Look, you got 10 goals and 20 points in 22 games. When you were an Oil King and you were going through getting drafted, the word on you was this guy's going to produce points in the NHL level. I know you had a pretty good season last year, but like a really good pace this year. How is it feeling? Like, how are you feeling this year? Like, are you that much more comfortable than your first couple?
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, I've obviously gotten better from when I was 19 until now, but I think I'm just a little smarter, a little older. The game feels like it's kind of slowed down for you. Like, I played my 100th game last game, and they were asking me, what's the difference from your first one? I think just kind of how you're more comfortable. The game feels like it slows down for you, and you feel like you have more time to make plays and shoot. But no, we have a good team. We got some good players who I'm playing with, and that definitely helps produce for sure.
So what's the biggest difference between scoring goals in junior, which you did a lot of, and scoring goals at the NHL level?
Yeah, I think I'm still trying to figure out how to score up here. I mean, I've done a pretty good job so far, but there's always different ways. And now the other team kind of knows who you are, so they know your tendencies. So I think just trying to get inside a little bit more, just create that versatility, score a couple rebounds, tip in goals, greasy ones. I mean, I'm good from the outside and from the slot, and that's kind of how I was scoring in junior. But I was probably getting 3 or 4 chances a game, whereas now maybe not as many. So I think just trying to round out my ability to score in just different areas.
Another big thing for you was earlier this season, you got that incredible contract extension. I know so many people around the city and people who work for the Oil Kings were so happy for you. What did that mean to you to get that deal from Utah?
Yeah, it's pretty special. To know that the organization, they believe in you, they have faith in you, and they want to, invest in you. So, yeah, I think I've come a long way. I mean, at this point last year, I was playing the American League, and then I end up signing a year before, my contract's even up. So I'm just super grateful for that. I've had a lot of people, help me get to this point. I mean, my parents, like, as much as I sacrificed my whole life to the game of hockey, so have them. So I think it's pretty rewarding for, not just me, but my family.
All right. Obviously, the game tomorrow in Salt Lake City, but you will be a visitor. And I think you've played correct me if I'm wrong, at least once as a Coyote in Rogers Place. What was it like coming back to Rogers Place where you had all those great moments as an Oil King? What was it like coming back as an NHLer?
It's pretty cool. You dream of stuff like that. I mean, I remember dreaming of playing on the Oil Kings, and then I'm, playing in the NHL. So it's special. I think you definitely appreciate all the people you see after, friends and family who get to watch you play in the NHL. But it feels different too. Like I'm standing on the other side of the ice. I'm sitting on the other bench, warming up on the other side. I mean, that probably wouldn't seem like a big deal to a lot of people, but I played, probably 100 games or 80 games in that building, doing it on the other side. So it definitely feels a little bit different.
Okay. How often do you stay in touch with a lot of guys? I mean, you and Neighbors, and I say this, people, probably you and Neighbors from that incarnation of the Oil Kings were the two guys I interviewed the most. But do you stay in touch with Jake or other guys from those great Oil Kings teams you were on?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of them. We got group chats going. When you got the Snapchat, you get like the memories a year ago, 2 years ago. It's getting into like the 4 years ago now. So we're always sending them in, and we had a great time. So we always stay in contact. I was just in Montreal, so I went for dinner with Ghouls when I was there. It's nice to see. It's pretty cool to play against some of these guys in the NHL who you really started to grind it out and get better with in junior, and then get to play against them at the highest level.
Your former teammates giving you a good pop, or have you delivered? I mean, like Neighbors is. You must have liked having Neighbors on your team more than against you, because he'll kind of do anything to win, right? But any rough stuff with a former teammate?
Not really. I'll have to pop Nibs. I've only played him twice, so but he's in our division, so we'll play him a lot. But no, I know all his tricks, so I'll be ready for it.
Right. You know his book. Maybe just a quick thought on how the team's right around 500, but still relatively early. How do you feel it's coming together so far? I know you sort of built some stuff over the last couple of years with the Coyotes, but there's always changes to the roster and things like that. How do you feel it's gone so far this year for Utah HC?
It's gone well. I think we started hot. We had a little bit of a lull, but our last 2 or 3 weeks we've been playing really well, and we haven't necessarily got the results, but I think it's just a part of us maturing as a team, and we're in those close games, we're in those tight matches, and those are the ones you want to be in. And I think we still have to figure out. People always say good teams find a way to win when you're not playing well or you don't feel good. I think that we can still, try to learn and add that to our game. But the last few weeks we've been playing good hockey, and we've got a 3-4 here coming up against 3 really good teams. So it's a good test for us, and we've had a couple of days off, so we'll be ready to go.
Okay. Well, Dylan, it's a pleasure to catch up with you. As I said, it was always a pleasure talking to you with the Oil Kings, and it's great to see your NHL career off and running. Like you said, 100 games. That's a great milestone for you. I hope we can keep connecting down the road. Really appreciate your time. All the best rest of the season.
Yeah, sweet. I hope so. Thanks, Reid. Thanks for having me on.
All right, that was really cool for me to catch up with Dylan Guenther. Yeah, he's just under a point a game. The contract, he's done very well for himself there. Just want to get the exact numbers. 8 years, just over $57 million, so just over 7 per season. So well done there for the Edmonton kid, who was an excellent Edmonton Oil King and doing really well so far this season with the Utah Hockey Club. It was funny how when I asked him about the franchise moving, he's like, well, I had like 2 suitcases and a car. A little different when you're 2021 and your team is changing cities. Other guys probably had to move their families. But he's an exciting player, good goal scorer. And that Utah team will be interesting to watch. I mean, they're like, even last year's Arizona, like they weren't great, but they weren't terrible. They weren't great defensively. So, sort of mediocre once again this year. I think a team the Oilers, it's a must-win tomorrow. No, it's not a must-win, but a team you'd hope the Oilers would beat more often than not in the Western Conference. But they got some dangerous players, and Guenther is one of them. I was really happy to talk to him.
Kind of more like a can't lose.
It's more of a can't lose. Thank you, Jay. Yes. All right, 780-218-9999. You can jump into the nasty chat on YouTube. Phyllis saying, nice interview with Dylan. Really appreciate that. I'm glad to people still, local athlete, right? Great local athlete who was an Oil King. The off-topic topic is, what's the worst thing you've ever forgotten?
Well, at first I want to, Andrea from Calgary.
The story.
With the tickets. She said, yes, that's exactly what they did. They went to the Ticketmaster office and they were able to see the Stamps win. So that was a good story. Uncle Jesse says, Buddy left his wallet at home for his bachelor party. Forgot to take his ID out of it. We hit a restaurant after the golf game and we then all went back to the Airbnb instead of the debauchery we would have done. So he must have, dang, that's a bad one. In junior high, we traveled by cars. This comes from KCF. In junior high, we traveled by cars to Vancouver from Prince George for a volleyball tournament, and when we arrived, we found out our coach forgot to send in the confirmation.
Oh, no.
They didn't find a spot for us, so we went to a Canucks game and went home the next day.
Oh, no.
That is not a short drive.
So they were scheduled to go to a volleyball tournament. They weren't entered in.
That's right. Oh, my word. That's terrible.
Sarah says, sorry, Jay.
No, I can imagine the parents would have been just happy about that.
Sarah says, worst thing I forgot was my child. Forgot my son at home and realized after driving for a while.
Like, why is it so quiet?
Shouldn't there be someone in the car?
Why am I being annoyed or kicked in the back?
Yeah, we're getting some good ones here. Keep those coming in as well. I'm sure you're going to want to participate in our buying or selling in our afternoon debate. There is no doubt you are going to want to participate in today's top three because I came up with you, me, and Matt came up with a top 6 or 7. Yeah. I didn't stop at 3, so I know we're going to have people chiming in on this one as well. But Mark Killam appears to be the leading candidate to coach the Elks. We'll talk about that more, too. It's the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne on Edmonton Sports Talk.
In the NFL, the Bears dropped a tight 23-20 decision to the Lions. And right now, the Cowboys have taken a 13-7 lead over the Giants with about 7 minutes left in the second quarter. After that, it's the Dolphins battling the Packers, where you can join Lieutenant Eric down at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge for kickoff at 6:20. And according to EST's very own Jason Milne, former Stamps assistant head coach and longtime special teams coordinator Mark Killam is the leading name for the vacant Elks head coach position. And there's no games in the NHL today, with the Oilers facing the Utah HC tomorrow night. The WHL has 10 games tonight, including the Oil Kings meeting with the Calgary Hitmen. And it was the Canadian men's soccer team finishing 31st in FIFA World Rankings this year. Canada's previous best was back in 2022 at 33rd in the World Rankings. This sports update has been brought to you by Paramount Flooring, proudly family-owned and operated for 33 years. Paramount Flooring is your full-service flooring and tile supplier. Whether you're a homeowner, renovator, or builder, Paramount Flooring has the flooring to fit your lifestyle and budget. Visit their showroom that's open 7 days a week at 10707 184th Street. Paramount Flooring. Flooring for the life that you live. We have a quick timeout. Reid and Jay will continue their show after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
The grand opening sale at Sit and Sleep is almost over. This is your last chance to take advantage of the special introductory sale prices on all mattresses. Stop in today for a free pressure point scan using cutting-edge technology so sleepologists can identify the perfect mattress for you. Right now, get free local delivery on any mattress over $7.99 and receive a free bamboo cooling mattress protector. Enjoy grand opening savings with every mattress on sale. Join us on location today for the final celebrations at Sit and Sleep in South Common next to Planet Fitness. Don't miss out the grand opening sale in soon.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Tommy Gunn's Barbershop is more than just a barbershop. It's a top-notch, tailor-made experience from check-in to check-out. Get a precision haircut, a classic shave, or a facial to step up your style. Just walk in, relax, and let Tommy Guns take it from there. Find comfort in knowing their team follows the code, which is their commitment to care for you as a customer. Check out Tommy Guns today, in-store or online at TommyGuns.com to bring out the best in you. Tommy Guns, where every cut is done right every time.
I saw the cigarette sitting on the windowsill last Saturday night. You only smoke when you drink, you only drink when you're mad, you're only mad when we fight. I should have trusted my gut, but I didn't. Guess I should have known.
Oh, we're here. Thanks a lot for checking out the show this afternoon. Portions of this hour presented by Canadian Brewhouse. NFL lives at the Canadian Brewhouse with Thursday Night Football and your chance to win a trip to an NFL home opener of your choice. $1 off tankards of Bud Light and Budweiser. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. All right, what's the score here? 13-7 Dallas. Detroit beat Chicago by 3, nearly blew it in the end, but then Chicago blew it in the end. And tonight, Packers and Dolphins. There's a game tomorrow at 1. Raiders Chefs is at 1. I believe the Chiefs are heavily favored.
As they should.
I think it's by like 13.5 points or something like that.
And we should address that our dear Zach did bring in a hashtag TV for Reid.
Yes, which is not operating. It's operational. It's just not operating.
Well, so remember how Matt said he was rude to me today? This is what kicked it all off.
Which time?
Yeah, exactly. Check the crib standings. This was what started it off, was hashtag TV for Reid. Because I said, oh, thanks, Zach, you brought it in. Oh, we were just going to put it here. No, you can't put it there. Okay, well, we'll put it here. No, I don't want anything getting unplugged or touching here. No.
Persnickety.
Very persnickety today.
So now we have a TV that's not plugged in and we're not allowed to use. It's just allowed to sit. That's where it's allowed to sit, but it can't be plugged in.
It looks great. Nice black screen.
Yeah, looks beautiful. Well, we'll figure out a way to get it working.
Pizza Boy says, the worst thing I forgot was my kid, Kevin. Oh, no. Kevin is bad. Kevin!
I didn't think we were going to get as many people saying they forgot their child. There's been way more than I thought there would be.
Yes. We planned a big family holiday. I'm kidding. Oh, my God.
Can we read this on air? Does it involve a crime or a felony?
Okay, so this is...
What, is this sad?
No, I just got set up. See, here's the thing.
Oh, another Henway?
People know, yeah. It's a story. He's telling a story of Home Alone.
Oh, he's just telling... Okay. All right.
Fox Creek.
Nice going.
You know, I'd laugh at... This is what happens when I don't have my laptop. Because normally on my laptop, I have a Word document that's open that I copy and paste these into, and I read them before going straight to air with them. So if there's ever a day you want to pull the wool over on old Jay...
Forge, come on, guys. Don't send in movie plots. Leave that to me. Tom Gazzola is in the nasty chat. The worst thing he's ever forgotten is to tell his coworkers his name at Bozone. 780-218-9999. We are going to shift into buying or selling, courtesy our buddy Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in Greater Edmonton and among Western Canadian RE/MAX realtors. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com. IG handle, that's Instagram, Damon Bunting Real Estate. Buying or selling, Jay, what do you have for me and everybody?
Well, we got to talk about Mark Killam. If this comes to fruition that Mark Killam is named as the next head coach of the Double E, are you buying or selling? Well, let's just start with this. is that the right choice? Are you that Mark Killam is the head coach, buying or selling?
Okay, here's what I'm going to say. And I suppose I'm going to be a little bit annoying here, and I'm not going to answer that question directly because
you're going to be persnickety?
Unfortunately, it's one of these things. Ask me again in a year. But is he a proven CFL high-level assistant coach / special teams coordinator? Yes, he is. Is he at the age where you would expect him to be able to do a good job coaching? Mid-40s, for sure. So I think it's a good choice. Do I think he's better than Rick Campbell? Well, Rick Campbell has more head coaching experience. Rick Campbell's had some really good seasons in the Canadian Football League. I mean, he was part of building Ottawa to an expansion team, to a team that went to, 3 Grey Cups and won one of them within the first few years of existing. Here would be maybe a concern or maybe somewhat of a negative. And I'm not saying that this is for sure going to happen. But Rick Campbell would come with people that probably have relationships with him, and would be coordinators and whatever positions he wanted to be on the coaching staff. So I think my gut tells me it would be easier or smoother for Rick Campbell to put together a coaching staff than maybe somebody like Mark Killam, who has never been a head coach before. Now, I want to clarify, everybody. I'm not sitting here saying they won't have a good coaching staff or anything like that. I'm just saying if it's Rick Campbell, you might already know a couple people who are going to fill key positions. With Killam, you don't know that. And if he's a first-time head coach, is he also going to hire people who are first times as an offensive coordinator? You know what I mean? Like, what's the ripple effect of having him as your head coach in terms of the rest of his staff? That'd be my question, I guess.
Well, I mean, Bill Belichick was once a first-time head coach. Ron Lancaster once was a first-time head coach. Hugh Campbell was a first-time GM. There's first times for everyone. The thing that I'm buying, but I'm also somewhat biased because I believe in Chris and what he's doing and what his vision is. And if this is true, I mean, this is not guaranteed yet, but if this is true, this looks like it's got Chris's hands all over it, to be honest. And this is a person that lives up to the standard of, creating a culture, maintaining a culture, and getting back to an organization that people, Jed was here yesterday, said this was a destination that people begged and pleaded to get to. That needs to get back to it. Now, the other question I have in bringing in a Mark Killam is, Calgary's got an extra quarterback sitting around there that not many people are talking about in Jake Maier, right? Is that something that now you could have a Jake Maier come up and be, compete for the starting job, but let's say Trey goes out and wins the starting job. Well, you have a competent, good enough as a backup quarterback in Jake Maier that might follow, because that's one thing you will not hear is that, I didn't really like as a player. Players love Mark Killam. Right. So, I think it would be a great move. It would disassociate this organization from just bringing in, because that's the worst thing with the CFL is, finding a guy that's, retread here. The same names are always popping up. This is a guy that's been looking for a chance like this for a long time. I think it would be a good hire.
I encouraged people to email me yesterday, and I'm glad a couple of people have taken me up on that. I want to get to a limerick later from Coach Gator, but this just came in from Waddy in Cloverdale. He says, "Hey guys, on the topic of Trey Ford, I'm not a huge Elks fan, but I do digest 10 or more hours of EST every day and listen intently to your Elks coverage." Waddy goes on to say, "Trey is a self-proclaimed gamer, admitting on EST afternoons that he often stays up late gaming. It was unorthodox that he was announced so early as the starter versus Winnipeg, but was also quickly replaced for the rematch." Well, Jay and I both agree with that. Waddy goes on to say, "While his athletic ability is evident, reading between the lines, it appears to me that his preparation and dedication to being a pro is what is in question, as multiple coaches have shown hesitancy handing him the reins. Am I way off base, and can a culture change correct that?" Short answer, I don't think you're way off base. Can a culture change correct that? I don't know. And I don't think he's a malcontent or a child or anything like that. As much as we say, well, this coach should have given him a chance, this coach should have given him a chance, there's probably something to, was he as on board with some of the stuff as the coaches would have liked? I think that's an interesting debate to have. So, Waddy, I don't think you're off base in raising that question. Can a culture change correct that? We'll see. Because I also get the sense that not just Trey, but maybe the younger generation of athletes, let's face it, the days of, do this or you're going to run 4 miles until you puke. Oh, you did it. I'm still going to make you run 4 miles until you puke. Thanks, coach, for the opportunity to be on the team. Those days are done. So maybe Trey Ford wants an Ed Hervey saying, hey, man, we're going to let you cook. But I got to know you're going to do this. We got a deal?
Oh, that's exactly what's going to be happening. There's going to be repercussions. There's going to be accountability in that locker room. And I don't know, Waddy, I appreciate you sending that in. I don't know if that was a distraction for him being a gamer. I think most people in the world are gamers. Zach last night went home. He was excited to go play video games. I mean, it's a thing, right? So now we've got some. Should we carry into this after the break?
Yeah, we'll keep going with this after the break. And we want to get into some Oilers stuff as well, because I think there's already some Oilers messages that you've saved and want to read. And we're going to have more of your off-topic replies.
I found a way how to kind of bookmark them.
Okay. Oh, good. You've learned today.
Learning
because of the new laptop?
Yeah.
Is it because of the new laptop?
Yeah, don't talk to me.
It's 4 o'clock. We got a break, and then we got the coop, then more of us.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Conveniently located 10 minutes west of St. Albert, Wheeler's RV Storage will provide you with safe, secure storage for your RV, boat, or whatever you need to store. Open 7 days a week with gated keypad access and extra large stalls. Now is the time to take advantage of their limited time offer. Buy 6 months and get 1 month free. Now's the time to go to WheelersRVStorage.com. That's Wheeler's RV Storage. Safe, secure storage. Visit them today at WheelersRVStorage.com.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they are the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
The Canadian Ice House is taking your sports experience to a higher level. Trackman golf simulators are now open at the Ice House, an immersive and realistic golfing experience in the heart of downtown Edmonton. Visit in-store or at thecanadianicehouse.com for details.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
With 3 games in the NFL, the Lions beat the Bears 23-20, while the Giants and Cowboys are throwing it down with the Cowboys up 13-10 near the end of the first half. Later, it's the Dolphins kicking off with the Packers, where you can join Lieutenant Eric for the action down at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, just on Fort Road. And according to EST's very own Jason Milne, Mark Killam, former special teams coordinator and assistant head coach for the Stampeders, is a leading candidate for the Elks' head coach position. And the NHL has an off day today with the Oilers in Utah tomorrow. Over in Calgary tonight, the Oil Kings hit the ice with the Hitmen on a 10-game WHL slate. FIFA has placed the Canadian men's team at 31st in the world rankings to end the year. This is the highest ranking Canada has received, with 33 being the previous best back in 2022. The Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne continues right now. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
Thanks, Coop. Hender's Pancakes predicting a 4-2 win tomorrow night for the Oilers, and then a 7-6 80s style game against the Avalanche on Saturday night. Why not?
Boy, oh boy, I was watching that Avalanche Vegas Golden Knights game last night. Whew. That's a tempo. That was incredible.
Which one?
Avalanche Vegas.
Oh, I was able to see the overtime and the shootout.
Man, that third period was electric.
Like, I didn't see the third.
It was really good.
Yeah, Oilers play those two teams on the road trip as well. Because what is Utah tomorrow, Colorado Saturday, Vegas on Tuesday.
You get what? If you get 3 points out of that, you're laughing.
I think they got to try to go 2-1.
That's a tough sled.
Well, the Avalanche record is right around Edmonton's. I think now their win percentage, points percentage was the same until last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bruh.
We've got some. There's been some commentary on this potential Killam hiring, so I just want to, while the iron's hot, talk about it.
Strike while the iron is hot.
You said it, Reid. Stan, the Jets fan, says Reid and Jay. Rick Campbell was the assistant and GM in BC, and may be set in his approach, and therefore maybe a challenger to the culture Ed and Chris are trying to build. It's not the Campbell way; it's a double E way. Stan, the Jets fan.
Yeah, well, that's true. Well, it's the coach's way, right? We could talk all about the past and this and that, but who knows? Maybe, and we don't know what was said in the interview, and we should clarify, the coach has not been hired, and I'm not, because you're using the term inside track.
Yeah, leader in the clubhouse.
Favorite.
Yep.
So, but if we want to speculate a little bit, I think we can do some responsible speculation. Maybe Mark Killam goes in there and says, here is what I want to build going forward. Maybe Rick Campbell goes in there and says, well, here's what I've done in the past, and I'll just do it again. It's not that there's anything wrong with that. You want experience, but maybe Mark Killam had a knock your socks off interview, or maybe he said some things about building a culture and going forward that really impressed Morris and Hervey. And as we know, Morris was involved in the hire, is involved in the hiring. It's not he hired the GM and now he gets out of the way. He said he's still going to be involved.
It could have been the right person at the right place at the right time for for Killam. Because I don't know if he's come into an organization that's just totally cleaned house, right?
Right.
This one comes in from Vic. Is a young first-time head coach what this organization needs at this time? That becomes the elephant in the room question. Well, Mark Killam is not young by any stretch of the imagination.
He's 45, and he's not.
But he's been
30.
around this league.
But I do think that's a fair question. There is still being a first-time head coach.
Yep.
Now, I know he was an assistant. He got promoted to assistant head coach while remaining special teams coordinator in Calgary.
Yep.
I mean, he became as much of the face of the Stamps as the head coach sometimes, right? Because he was always there. He got shown on TV a lot.
Luscious locks.
I think he's photogenic. Let's be honest about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think there's something. Okay, I'm making the decision. I'm not the backup decision maker. I'm not the ear. I'm not the lend a ear to a head coach to help him make the decision. I'm making the final call. I think that still would be a transition for the guy. And again, I'm not saying that he can't do it. I'm just saying for that texture, that nasty, to bring that up, I think that's a relevant question.
I think it's a question. I don't know if it's the end-all, be-all. I think his resume, he's done some pretty good things in Calgary. Yes, things have fallen off in the past couple years or seasons for them. But this was a name that's been thrown around, 2-3 times at least as a head job or as a head coach quality applicant. So but is that a problem, being young?
No.
Or does young?
I think for some
does
people
young
it could
mean
be
inexperienced as a head coach?
I think him being 45 and having been on a CFL coaching staff since 2005 does not count as neither young nor inexperienced.
Yeah. If Mark Killam was CFL head coach material, he would have been hired by now. The Elks don't need someone learning on the job. They need someone who knows the job and what will bring the stability Morris desires. That comes in from Herman, echoing the sentiment.
Yeah, I can't argue with anybody who brings that up. I don't think you're being pessimistic or negative to ask that question.
Yeah.
By any means. I mean, we heard it about Knobloch. Well, I know you weren't a host at that time, but you were a sports fan in the city, right? I mean, I certainly heard it.
Yep.
People may have said, I'm sure Chris Knobloch will be a good NHL coach. Do I want him as the first this happening in Edmonton with that team and with that situation? That was a fair comment. Now, his first year went pretty well. But no, I think that's a valid question. If Hervey and Morris are stressing stability and building culture and longevity, do they want to hire somebody who has already done that at the head coaching level? Now, again, I'm kind of arguing both sides of this. The flip side to that is, again, with Calgary since 2005, he would understand longevity and culture. And for most of the time he was with the Stamps, except for the last couple of years, they were a pretty darn good team.
Kevin Van Dazzelaar says, let me try this again using the QB angle. With VA signing in Calgary, do you think that hurt Campbell if Killam potentially brings along Jake Mayer?
Well, see, now we're going down an entirely different path because we're really speculating because we're not 100% sure he's the head coach.
Yep.
And then we don't know what's going to happen with Ford or Mayer. I guess my question would be, if Ford and Mayer is the quarterback duo, do you have a true starter? Or are you still week to week with whoever's playing better? Do you have an obvious number one?
Well,
I mean, like we're 6 months ahead of that question already.
I think the vast majority of Double E fans would say that Trey Ford is the starter.
In that case, it would be Ford with Mayer as a competent backup.
Which would be a very competent backup. Now, and Reid, here's the other thing, that the head coach is only as good as his coordinators. So the staff that is put together, if Mark Killam is to be the next head coach, I want to see which coordinators he's bringing in.
Right. Well, not to me. Okay, so I guess that'd be my number one question.
Yes.
I think he's most likely very capable and knowledgeable of being a CFL head coach. But what staff, what cohesion, what loyalty is there going to be? I don't know who he has relationships with. I don't know who he knows that's any good. I don't know who is somebody sitting there waiting, saying, I can't wait for Mark to be a head coach because he's going to hire me as the linebacker coach or the DC or whatever. I don't know that.
Do you know something? I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to put you on the spot here because
sure.
it's being talked about in the nasty chat. What are the Oilers doing for the goaltending here in this next? They've got a back-to-back tomorrow and Saturday, and then again
it'll
on
be
Tuesday.
Skinner. It'll be Skinner tomorrow. I think it'll be Skinner, Pickard, Skinner. That's
Skinner.
the obvious solution to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if they
enough.
go Pickard, Skinner. I think you give Skinner the first game back. I mean, Skinner's game. Well, the most recent game they played on Saturday was good for everybody, right? So, I think if unless Hyman is healthy, doesn't look like he'll be ready for tomorrow, you come back with the same lineup, including the goaltender, and then Pickard plays against Colorado.
There, that answers that.
Are we going to transition into the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel?
I don't know if we have enough time to do it justice, Reid.
Well, we'll give him the tag now. GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Now a proud partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel. Understood. Okay.
And our dear friend Smitty the Welder says, how did the veteran coach, in brackets, Chris Jones, make out?
Well, and see, that's the thing. I mean, and most people...
That's a good point.
And most people, when Chris... Like I said this, I told this story. The day Chris Jones was hired for the second time, it was right before Christmas. I think it was like December 18th or something like that. It was really close to Christmas. The discussion on my show that night, Inside Sports, was not, is Chris Jones going to do a good job? The discussion was, how soon is he going to leave? Oh, he won't last that 4-year contract. They're going to get good, and he's going to jet again for another opportunity. So, yeah, I mean, ultimately, you got to let them go out and work. Here's what I will say. If it's Mark Killam, that is not a out of left field hiring. That is not picking out somebody out of the corn maze that has been lost for 10 years. That's not finding a skeleton in the corn maze and making them a head coach. There's the phrase that I'll use going forward. It's just perhaps he wasn't the favorite that we thought going in, but his name has been bandied about as a potential head coach for several years. And that who wrote that? Kevin?
Smitty the Welder.
Smitty. Sorry, Smitty. Welder love, hashtag. Or what was it?
Welder Darity.
Welder appreciation. What's the hashtag?
Welder Darity.
Oh, Welder Darity. Yeah. Hashtag. Yeah, there are plenty of coaches that you could say, well, there's another guy. Even I remember when Dave Tippett came to the Oilers, there were some fans, because I heard from a lot of them, why? Why Dave Tippett? Why? How many teams has he asked to coach?
Yep.
So there's always going to be a for and against either way. Josh, emailing Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Here is a limerick that teaches others to write a limerick.
Oh, this is good.
Here it goes. To write a limerick with glee, start with lines 1 and 2 that agree. Lines 3 and 4 rhyme in a much shorter time, and 5 brings it home, you see. Not bad. That's pretty good. Could have tightened up, again, lines 3 and 4. I insist on that, but that's quite good, Josh. Josh, we're going to get you a hand-pecked Dolores the Hen. No, what is it? Auto-pecked?
Auto-pecked.
An auto-pecked Dolores the Hen poster for contributing to that. That's pretty good. Earlier today, I got a limerick from Coach Gator, an old buddy of mine from the Lloydminster area. Reid and Jay talk sports with great flair. On airwaves, they're quite the bold pair. From touches to scores, they analyze more, making fans cheer and laugh without care. That's from Coach Gator.
Whoa.
These are good.
These are great.
These are really good today. People are really starting to put some effort into it.
Oh, that's the one Maddie wanted to read on the Hangout,
yeah, and I
right?
wouldn't let him.
You sure showed him who's boss.
Yeah. I'll show him his coup. I'll perform a coup d'etat.
Mind you, he did help in the trick shot today, so we do have to give him that.
He did help in the trick shot. I noticed that people are enjoying the trick shots.
I think it's a good one.
So if you don't follow Edmonton Sports Talk, what is it on Instagram? YEG Sports Talk? Or me, Reid Wilkins, or what's your handle? Jason Milne on Instagram?
Jason Milne, yep.
Give us a follow on Instagram. So for the last 2 weeks, I have performed some sort of a basket on our little plastic basket here at the office and done a tee-up of the show. So I'll make a shot.
It's Edmonton Sports Talk.
First try every time I make the shot. So today, Matthew was pushing me in a wheelie chair, and as it was rolling, I made a shot and then looked to the camera and said, hey, coming up on the show today.
It was they're just getting better.
I have received more messages and feedbacks about these shots than perhaps anything else I've ever posted on social media ever. Like just looking into my messages folder, there are several messages and reactions, and usually I have none. So even if I got 4, that's a lot. But I've got a lot of how many takes did that take you, Reid? What, I can't do it on the first try? Of course I can do it on the first try.
I don't think anybody would be shocked that yes, some of them have taken more than one try.
Yeah, maybe 4.
But surprisingly, we haven't had one except that one which we'll name unnamed because we're going to go back to that.
Because we haven't done it yet. Yeah,
that was the only one that really was I guess aggressively over the line in terms of timeline. But this, I mean, what was that? The 4th time? Well, actually,
the rolling one.
I had a better one, but I
actually made it twice.
Yeah, I screwed that.
I did 2 takes of that one. That's how good I was. Okay, we'll get into more Oilers chat as well as we move along throughout the show. 780-218-9999. Nasty chat off and running. Tom is in there, so everybody's excited about that to talk to him and give us a thumbs up as well. Matt wants my email, Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com. Reid is R-E-I-D. Hammer that thumbs up. We want to get to 100 as quickly as possible. We're on a pretty good pace. We'll talk Turkey, American Thanksgiving, with an American member of your Edmonton Elks. He had a huge play on, several huge plays on Labor Day.
Turkey.
That was, yeah, I thought you were just going la, 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 la. Tevin Jones when we get back. Sports Update with the Coupe.
In the NFL, the Bears dropped a tight 23-20 decision to the Lions, and right now it's the Cowboys leading against the Giants 13-10. Later tonight, we see the Dolphins battle the Packers, where you can join Lieutenant Eric at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge on Fort Road for the action. Kickoff goes at 6:20. And according to EST's very own Jason Milne, former Stamps assistant head coach and longtime special teams coordinator Mark Killam is a leading name for the vacant Elks head coach position. There's no games in the NHL today with the Oilers facing the Utah HC tomorrow night. The WHL today has 10 games, including the Oil Kings meeting with the Calgary Hitmen. And the Canadian men's soccer team will end the year at a team best 31st in the FIFA World Rankings. Canada's previous best was back in 2022, placing 33rd in the world. The Sports Update is brought to you by Sit and Sleep, where you can save big with their Black Friday sale. Get a queen-size Eurotop mattress with patented non-flip pocket coils, gel memory foam, and 5 comfort zones, slashed down to half price for only $3.99. Find great deals like this and more for the rest of the month at Sit and Sleep. Shop Black Friday sale now at Sit and Sleep, where you can find them in South Edmonton Common, next to Planet Fitness. Elks receiver Tevin Jones joins the show just after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
Black Friday at FXR Edmonton is the place to shop for the best deals of the year.
Whether you're looking for snowmobile apparel, riding gear, workwear, or a new jacket for looking stylish around town,
FXR Edmonton is the place to be. Door crasher deals up to 80% off, and the entire store is on sale, so don't miss out.
the best deals of the year. Black Friday at FXR Edmonton, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Come see us at 324 Mayfield Common.
780 is just another lame-ass, low-budget local shop. Homegrown right here in Edmonton. 780 is both the shop name and their in-house clothing brand that celebrates all things unique to E-Town. They also work with close to 1,000 local vendors from the 780 to help promote and get their brands off the ground. Check them out online at 780.com or at any of their 5 locations at Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, and the Outlet Mall by the airport.
If you've been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, protect your interests. They'll be there every step of the way to help answer your questions and help you get your life back on track. Trust Alberta's precedent-setting injury lawyers with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, call James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, 780-428-0088, or go to jameshbrown.com.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Hey, thanks for checking out the show. Jay and I coming to you from the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law. With over 200 years of experience, James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. JamesHBrown.com. Book your private consultation today. Well, this next player will always be special to Jay and I because he was the first ever guest we had on this show back on September 3rd. He made some huge plays in the Elks Labor Day win over Calgary, and we're happy to catch up with him on U.S. Thanksgiving for some reflections on that as well. It's Elks receiver Tevin Jones. Hey, Tevin, you're on with Reid and Jay. How are you doing?
I'm all right. How you guys doing? Happy Thanksgiving, man. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you as well. I guess. So are you in Edmonton right now, sir?
I am in Edmonton.
Okay. Okay. We're going to ask you about that. So when you came up to the CFL initially and you start to learn about life up here, and let's face it, I don't think we're that different from the United States, but did you kind of be like, wait a minute, I'm going to get a Thanksgiving in October and in November? Like what did you, when you found out about the different dates?
Well, when I play football, I kind of lose schedule. I kind of lose track of time and dates and stuff. I just go out there and I'm just like, I just play, get ready to play, come back home, football, talk to my family, yada yada. So when it was Thanksgiving here in Canada, I was like, man, it's already Thanksgiving. Then I looked at the dates and I was like, no, this is not right. It's not Thanksgiving. And then somebody explained it to me. I was like, oh, I get it. So it's a plus to have two Thanksgivings, So I have one Canadian one, and then I have one American one. Okay. I called all my family, and I was telling them Happy Thanksgiving, and it wasn't even Thanksgiving over there, but they understood.
That's awesome. Yeah. Okay, so let me remind everybody where you grew up, and when it was a day like this when you were a kid, was your family in front of the TV watching football, or what was Thanksgiving like for a young Tevin Jones?
So I grew up in Houston, and Houston is hot outside, or like when it's cold at night, so or in the morning. So on Thanksgiving Day, we'll all go play football at the we'll all meet up and we'll go play at the stadium, like at the high school. So it won't just be my family, be other people's families out there. We'll go play, and everybody come back, and we'll everybody who didn't play football, they'll go and prepare the food. And by the time we got back, you're just rejoicing with family, saying what you're thankful for, and you get together and you eat food and you watch the Dallas Cowboys play. And that's pretty much how things went.
Oh, that sounds pretty fun.
So, what is that dynamic like? Because you said you grew up in Houston. I mean, that was the Oilers. Now it's the Texans. But you're forced to watch the Cowboys every Thanksgiving. What's the dynamic like, Tevin?
So growing up, I was a Houston Texan fan all the way. Big Andre Johnson fan, So my family's all about Houston. But it gets to a point to where Texas runs big in everybody. If you're from Texas, So we go for all the Texas teams. As far as UT. U of H, all the way down to Rice, all the way down to any team that has to do with Texas. That's what we root for. Baylor, So when Dallas is on, we'll root for Dallas. When the Texans are on, we'll root for Texans. That's how it goes.
Because here in Alberta, I mean, down to number 2, south of us, about 3 hours, is a dreaded little town called Calgary. That there's a rivalry there, and there would certainly not be any. Lost love between Edmontonians and Calgarians when it comes to sporting events. So you're saying that it's Dallas first and then your individual team second?
If they're on TV. If they're both on TV, I'm going for the Texans.
Okay.
But if the Cowboys are playing at the time and the Texans not playing, I'm gonna go for the Cowboys.
Tevin, I'm going to steal a question from my esteemed host here, Reid Wilkins. I'm going to use one of his questions and just ask you, when you're describing Edmonton to people back home in Houston and your family and your friends, and you're describing them, Edmonton in winter, summer, all of it, what are you saying about Edmonton?
I tell them that Edmonton is basically the Canadian version of Texas. And they're like, why is that? And I tell them, that's people in Edmonton told me that. So this is what I'm telling you guys, So coming from Regina all the way to Edmonton, it's a big change for me. Because, you're coming from a small town with, not a lot of things going over there, just football. Coming to a big city, to Edmonton, which is pretty nice. So, now you have things to do. You can go out there, meet a lot of people, so things are good. So I like Edmonton. And I think that this could be a home for me if things go well, but I'm just glad to be a part of the organization.
Well, right, and yeah, we'll see what's going on with you next season. But as we were talking about, you had some great games this season for the Elks, and you are here. You have decided to at least spend part of the off season in Edmonton. How come?
Yeah, because I feel like I wasn't here for the whole season. So at the beginning, the first half of the season, I wasn't here. So, and I want to give back to the city as much as I can. So, if there's any appearances for me to go sign autographs, meet people, go out and do things for the city, I will. So that's what I'm staying here for, and to get the full experience of a Canadian winter.
All right, what do you think, man? What do you think of the winter?
I need a coat. I need a winter jacket. I need some winter clothes because I definitely did not bring any. I brought a lot of hoodies. I went and bought me a jacket, but somebody told me that I need a winter coat and I need winter boots. So I'm gonna have to go figure it out. But it's a nice experience for me. I like it all so far.
Okay, well that's not bad. Like, were you when you saw the amount of snow? Were you surprised, irritated, curious?
A little bit of it all, So because when it first hit, I did not expect it all to happen like that. I made breakfast. I didn't look outside at all. Made breakfast, went downstairs, got my stuff ready, went downstairs, walked, and I had my head down looking at my phone, and I looked up to open the door to go outside, and it was all white. I said, "What is this?" Oh my God, it's snowing outside, right? It's snowing. So I had to take the train all the way to the stadium. And I was like, "Man, this is crazy." I called my mom, said, "Mom, it's snowing over here." And I said, "Mom, it's not like snow. It's like inches of snow." And it was great. And then the bad part about it is when I got, after I worked out, when I came back, the snow that was all muddy melted in front of my door. So it got all muddy and stuff. So I don't like that part at all. But everything else is beautiful. Like I went to the football field and it was untouched snow and there was a lot of it. And I just went and walked out there for a little while. I just walked around, and it was neat. I said, I guess this is what really snow looks like. You got the soft snow, the hard snow. I didn't know it was different types. So it's unique. I like it.
Tevin Jones joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. Tevin, I got to, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I got to ask you, when you're back in Houston, you're at home and Thanksgiving dinner is happening. What is on Tevin Jones' plate?
First of all, the dressing. Gotta have dressing. Second is probably the mac and cheese. Gotta have mac and cheese, Then get some turkey, turkey going on in there somewhere. Some ham. My mom makes some great ham. My mom makes great dressing. And then I eat all that first, and then go back for seconds. Then I go try the greens and the yams. Go from there. And then somebody, I think my district maybe one time they brought turducken.
Oh.
Turkey duck chicken. And then they said, "Yes, it's a football thing. You should try it." I was like, "All right, I'll try it." And it was great. I loved it. So every Thanksgiving, I try to go find something to eat some. My favorite pie is pecan pie. Or so far this year, I had Derek Moncrief's step grandmother. Her pumpkin pie is one of the best. And I told her to this day, I said, "I need some of that pumpkin pie," and she started laughing. But it's great.
That's awesome. You're making everybody hungry. Yeah. Hey, Tevin, we appreciate this. I mean, we've had you on the show twice. You're an excellent interview. We appreciate that you're very honest and show some personality. Fans love that as well. But I should ask for a couple thoughts on the season. I mean, as I said, the last time we had you on, you were instrumental in a big win on Labor Day. You guys, had a couple other big wins after that, stayed alive for that playoff spot, and then unfortunately dropped out at the end. How do you sort of look back on it? Because there were some really good moments, and I know you weren't here quite the whole season, but there was always that poor start, right? That ultimately had the team trying to climb out of a hole all year long.
Well, as to every story, there is some ups and downs, and it wouldn't be a story without any downs. So I think that at the beginning of the year, it was definitely a hard-fought battle on figuring things out. When I first came here, I thought, man, we got all the time in the world. We just got to put things together. And then finally, when we put things together, we started winning. And it's just, for me, it was just like a humbling experience. Like, you had great players trying to figure out what's going on. You had players who didn't think they were great and trying to get better, you know, like fighting for a spot to even play on the field. And then we had just people trying to figure it out. And I think that all of us trying to get ourselves together, like either you're too high, bring yourself down, or you're too low, bring yourself up. We found that median, like that equal. And we finally just start playing as a team, start going good. But for me, I feel like me being like last year, thinking I was a great player and then getting cut and then released, I had to humble myself all the way down to a practice squad player. And then, you know, from there, you know, just trying to help the defense out to win a game, to actually playing special teams, doing all I can, to actually being a starter, just trying to, you know, just help the guys any way I can, to actually being one of the guys and actually like influencing on winning the game. So it's like a complete 180 for me from the start of the season to the end of the season. And I just appreciate the process because it's been a journey from not knowing if you're going to play at all to winning and actually, you know, having a chance to be in playoffs. So it was great.
Well, Tevin, we really appreciate your time. We hope to see you. I mean, last time you were on with the Reid Wilkins show, it was the after the infamous Deuces game, if you can recall. So we hope to see you flashing the Deuces next season here in Edmonton. But thank you for taking time, and a happy Thanksgiving to you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys, too.
Right on. Tevin Jones from the Edmonton Elks checking in.
Love that.
Good stuff with him. Yeah, he's a good interview, and going through winter here in Edmonton. No, he does not have a contract for next season.
That's right.
We didn't want to. I mean, it's
not of, you know.
But he sounded like he'd like to stay, and he's staying part of the offseason, at least part of the offseason here. And
well, you know, maybe he took some words to heart.
Ed Hervey and Chris Morris have said they would like it, you know, to have a culture where a lot of players stay around in the offseason and do stuff in the community, as he says he's been willing to do. But good stuff with him. We wanted. I mean, our goal was to have an American Edmonton Elk on the show for a little bit of Thanksgiving memories. So him and his buddies would go out and play football in the high school yard Thursday morning into the afternoon, right? And then all get called home for dinner, and then they'd feast.
And I thought that was incredible for him, what he went through last year. I mean, he was on the practice roster.
Yeah.
Right. And then breakout player for the Double E. Just a great story. Sounds like a great guy. And, I wonder how many players are sticking around here this offseason that maybe weren't going to for as long, given what their new GM had to say.
Yeah, that's a good question for sure. Good to catch up with Tevin Jones. What do we have for the score in the game? Or is it halftime and the person I've ever heard of is performing? 13-10 Cowboys. Who is this?
Lainey Wilson.
Should I know who that is?
She's big in country music.
Okay.
And she was actually on the Yellowstone. That was...
Well, she's an actress?
She was an actress on there that also sang. I don't know which came first.
Okay.
But now she's gotten big time.
And who was it? Shabuzi during the earlier game?
Yeah.
Is that the name of the performer? Shabuzi?
Shabuzi.
Okay.
He's Shabuzi.
Is that a guy?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah, that's a guy. And he's got he's a country artist as well. But, he sings more... Like, what was his song, Zach? Bar song? Shabuzi?
It's a Nasty Bash song. Yeah, it's what the Nasty Bash song. Took another shot of whiskey. I'm not going to sing it all.
Oh, no.
It's more
Please,
like country
please
rap kind of.
Please continue.
It's like, took another shot of whiskey. Everybody's at the bar getting tipsy. That one.
That was really good.
Yeah, that's
I know.
him.
Coob. That was great. I mean, now everybody knows. All right. I like it.
780-218-9999. If you're in the Nasty Chat on YouTube, we appreciate it. Give us a thumbs up there as well. We had to call a quick timeout. We got the Coob with the sports update.
With 3 games in the NFL, the Lions beat the Bears 20-20. 23-20, while at halftime, the Cowboys lead against the Giants 13-10. Later, it's the Dolphins kicking off with the Packers, where you can join Lieutenant Eric for the action down at the Century Casino Sports Barn Lounge on Fort Road. Kickoff for that one goes at 6:20. And according to EST's very own Jason Milne, Mark Killam, former special teams coordinator and assistant head coach for the Stampeders, is the leading candidate for the Elks' head coach position. And the NHL has an off day today with the Oilers in Utah tomorrow. In Calgary tonight, the Oil Kings hit the ice against the Hitmen on a 10-game WHL slate. FIFA has placed the Canadian men's team at 31st in the world rankings to end the year. This is the highest ranking Canada has received, with 33 being the previous best back in 2022. This sports update is sponsored by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. Get treated like a pro with their highly skilled crew. Whether you're recovering from an injury or looking to enhance your performance, Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy uses the same locker room approach, trusted by the best in the game. Find them online at AdvantageSportMed.ca. We got a quick timeout before the Reid Wilkins Show returns. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
Conveniently located 10 minutes west of St. Albert, Wheeler's RV Storage will provide you with safe, secure storage for your RV, boat, or whatever you need to store. Open 7 days a week with gated keypad access and extra large stalls. Now is the time to take advantage of their limited time offer. Buy 6 months and get 1 month free. Now's the time to go to WheelersRVStorage.com. That's Wheeler's RV Storage. Safe, secure storage. Visit them today at WheelersRVStorage.com.
Tommy Gunn's Barbershop is more than just a barbershop. It's a top-notch, tailor-made experience from check-in to check-out. Get a precision haircut, a classic shave, or a facial to step up your style. Just walk in, relax, and let Tommy Guns take it from there. Find comfort in knowing their team follows the code, which is their commitment to care for you as a customer. Check out Tommy Guns today, in-store or online at TommyGuns.com to bring out the best in you. Tommy Guns, where every cut is done right every time.
Fuge Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store, or use the code EST when shopping online at fugesausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Fuge Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
At Mind360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
So a 3-game road trip for the Oilers starts tomorrow in Salt Lake City against Utah HC. We had Utah forward Dylan Guenther on the show earlier. Awesome to catch up with him. The Oilers back home 1 week from tonight, December 5th, against Columbus. And the Oilers announcing earlier that they will honor Connor McDavid for hitting 1,000 career points in advance of that matchup. So another little note to remember for that game coming up. Zach Hyman on the ice today. Not ready to go. Still sort of we'll see about when he's going to play, but he is going to travel, so hopefully he can get into a game, maybe even if it's the last one on this upcoming road trip. Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com is the email. Matt Hyman has written a limerick. Reid and Glue Guy perform food sausage skits. Some of the viewers may consider them twits. They talk sports. Tommy wears short shorts. Listening to them can cause the chat fits. Very good. Matt Hyman. And
yeah, Coob, we need them used.
Coob's trying to eat, trying to nourish, he's trying to re-energize. Coob's having a banana. Banana boy. The Big Uke from Vegas. 3 games of NFL football today. After those, 4-card poker we will play. Liquor running out. We will not pout. Hoping the group has big winnings. Hooray! These are improving in quality, I must say.
Pizza Boy sent one in as well. He was the one that wrote the Home Alone skit.
Wait a minute. It's not Pizza Boy Nick, is it?
It
just says Pizza Boy?
Yeah.
I just want to ask if
Zach.
he can clarify, because there was a listener of Inside Sports that was quite a loyal texter who went by Pizza Boy Nick.
This says Pizza Boy.
Just Pizza Boy. Probably somebody else, but okay. I always want to find out how you became a Pizza Boy.
Yeah, he did dupe me earlier, did Pizza Boy. Reid and Jay, 2 of my favorite crackpots. Every day at 3, my ears hit the jackpot. One of the greats, but not the great one. Probably top 4 if I had to rate them. Today, Jay forgot his laptop. Wait, hang on, maybe I'm missing.
Wait a minute, that's cadence is all off.
One of the greats, but not the great one. He rhymed jackpot with laptop, so
okay,
we got yeah.
There we
kudos.
there we go. Yeah. General overall improvement on the limericks. I'm pretty impressed. Reid at Edmonton Sports Talk. I like getting emails, everybody. Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Boy, did my mom write me a text about you. Just fascinated and just couldn't appreciate how much you taught everybody, not just me, but everybody, all you nasties, about the proper cadence of a limerick. And she thought you did it with attention and detail and courage.
Well, thank you, I guess.
She is a big fan.
Well, thank you very much.
I wonder if my mom's a bigger fan of you than Louise is of me, or if it's pretty even.
Well, Louise is a fan of yours.
Yeah.
She thinks you're a very kind human being.
Well, yeah.
Which is to her more important than pretty much anything else.
That's
She
good.
thinks you're a very kind and supportive human being.
Did she say I look like Tom Cruise?
She has never said that.
Okay.
I don't think she would ever comment on someone's appearance.
Except Austin Matthews.
She hates Austin Matthews and his stupid little mustache, as she puts it.
Clearly. I don't blame her. So our off-topic topic today was what's the worst item you've ever forgot?
Yeah.
Now we've realized now that forgetting your kid is not all that bad.
I'll tell you quickly one of the worst things I did.
Yes.
I was working at City TV, and at City TV, it was like I had a stretch there where you go into work, what am I going to do today? Am I editing? Am I reporting? Am I writing news? Am I shooting? So I was shooting for somebody, and the reporter luckily was one of my buddies. Mark Cohan, commissioner of the CFL, speaking in Commonwealth Stadium. Great. And so they actually let us drive our vehicles into the concourse, but then he was talking in the media center, so yada, yada, yada. Record. Nothing's happening. I didn't put a tape in the camera. So luckily the van was not that far away, so I still got most of the scrum, but that was quite embarrassing.
Yeah, little Wilkie was in trouble.
Wilkie was dumb.
Waddy says, Waddy in Cloverdale said, went to Mexico in 2006 and decided to safely store our passports under the TV as we settled into our room. When we arrived at the airport for the flight home, our passports were still safely stored there. And we nearly missed our flight, but we were able to retrieve them in time. Ooh, passports are bad ones to leave
that's
behind.
tough. Because you can't get those reprinted at the ticket office.
Let's see. Bobby LaFrench. I forgot all of the Christmas presents. Drove 5 hours to in-laws, and at 6 p.m. I realized all the gifts and stockings were still at home. Luckily, kids had gotten some from the grandparents, and I drove around the backwoods towns looking for stocking stuffers at gas stations. Lots of chocolate and fishing gear. We still have the massive jar of Scotch eggs Santa bought my wife. Told the kids Santa left the gifts at our home, too. It's all worked out. Very lucky for me. Well, Santa didn't know that you guys were leaving. Of course, he was going to deliver them to this house.
Yeah, of course.
Hello?
Oh, wow. These are good. And luckily, nothing... I mean, the people who have forgotten children, it wasn't a Home Alone situation where it was several days. It was, I left the house and had to go back and get them, I think.
Pizza Boy has clarified. No, it's Pizza Boy Mo in Slave Lake.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Isn't that weird? There's more than one Pizza Boy?
Well, the other person did call himself specifically Pizza Boy Nick, but I thought it was worth clarifying if it was the same person. Why not? 780-218-9999. Now, what do we have coming in today, sports-wise, if anything? Or is it all? Is it all the off-topic topic for William Huff?
Nacho Man says the AM show remarked how out of breath Jay was on the alley-oop shot yesterday.
I think that was me.
Well, I was recording it.
I was out of breath because I got very tired.
See, the one yesterday, we were laughing our butts off. So it could have been me laughing so hard that I was out of breath.
But I was out of breath because yesterday was behind the back. 2 days ago was the alley-oop off the wall.
Okay.
But I'm in very bad shape. Now, there was another day this week, or maybe that was the alley-oop day. Yes, I was out of breath from trying a shot that did not go to film because I couldn't make it, that I probably tried 80 times. And I think that repeated motion got me out of breath. And then we thought, okay, you can do an alley-oop dunk on the first try, which I did, but then we were laughing so hard we had to do another take on that one. I'm glad people are following these on Instagram. They're quite interesting.
Ace 96 says that he would start Pickard for the next 55 games.
Well, Ace 96 does not want Stuart Skinner in net.
That's
but he will be the goalie. Yeah. Stuart Skinner is going to play goal. That's all I can tell you. Both guys are going to play.
Well, should we dip into it?
Yeah, well, you got texts for us, don't you?
Oh, I have them. Yes. Reid, I have
them in a variety of saved in a variety of files. Because you don't have your usual laptop to record stuff. So you've got things all over the place. All right. But in the meantime, I'll tell people portions of this hour are presented by the Canadian Brewhouse. Book your holiday party at the CBH today, your ultimate destination for events, parties, fundraisers, and more. 'Tis the season to celebrate. Visit and book now at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
Are you ready for this one, Reid?
Yes.
The Oilers should trade Jeff Skinner for Taylor Hall. That comes in from Bertrand.
All right. Taylor Hall is the player du jour being discussed in Oil Country. He did have a hat trick against the Dallas Stars. His first hat trick since December 5th, 2013, when he was still with the Edmonton Oilers. The Oilers need more skill and more speed. Taylor Hall, who wasn't he scratched earlier this season? He's up to 5 goals in 21 games. So he has one more goal than Skinner?
3 more goals than Nuge.
3 more goals than Nuge. But I understand why Hall would be more appealing than Skinner for sure. So here's the thing. Hall makes $6 million UFA after this season. Jeff Skinner makes $3 million UFA after this season. So the money alone, if you wanted to get Chicago to retain, you would have to throw in something else, probably an appealing pick. The Oilers, as we know, are fast running out of first-round draft picks, both in potential and real form. Players they've drafted or could draft. And again, I'll throw this out there. Jeff Skinner has a no-move clause. So you're automatically
You're the
limited
pleasure
to what you can do.
delayer. Oh, no. You're the delayer of pleasure for trade requests. You admitted it yesterday. It's okay. It's actually a compliment because you just take trades and you just say, okay, well, this is not able to happen. Here's why.
Well, it's pretty hard to trade a player with a no-move clause because it's specifically put in the contract that way.
This is true.
That's all I'm saying. Some people in the Nasty Chat don't like Taylor Hall. Other people do.
It would appear so. This one comes in as well. I hope the Oilers are ready to go tomorrow night. They have wasted their first quarter of the season with their apathetic play. Hyman, Arvidsson, both Skinners, RNH, Bouchard all need to step up. And enough mumbling from this passive coach. Light a fire under your players. That comes in from the Rambler.
Well, I think we've talked a lot about those players and others that have not performed to their capabilities. So I don't know if I'm going to go through everything all there again. I think that's
you don't want to rehash how they're underperforming?
Well, when we did our tier rankings for each player on the team.
Wait, but that doesn't mean they're on the fourth line, Reid.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, I mean, certainly, I do think Hyman will come along. Hopefully, Arvidsson does. Like Bouchard's point total is starting to pick up. He needs to cut down on the defensive errors for sure. Anyway, we've talked about that. What was the stuff about the head coach? Enough mumbling from the head coach?
Enough mumbling from this passive coach.
Oh, okay.
What does that mumbling mean?
I don't think he mumbles when he talks.
He's a very clear speaker.
Yeah, I think his diction is fine. Is that proper use of diction? I think his diction and enunciation is fine. He's not overly emotional when he talks. He tends to, even when he says something critical, he tends to do it in a very even tone and doesn't really use strong language. I guess I would say to that, if a team is not doing well, fans generally don't like what they're hearing from the coach. Because I feel as if he can never be angry enough or negative enough, but then there'd be a line where it's like, well, why are you being so negative? Right. Don't publicly call out your players or make them feel bad. So I do feel it's a little bit as if you can't win. And quite frankly, guys, again, you're talking to someone who has been hosting a talk show in Edmonton for 11 seasons and specifically did a call-in fan interaction show after games for 11 seasons. A lot of people thought Jay Woodcroft didn't show enough emotion and didn't use strong enough language on his team and on his players. I think Woody was probably stronger than Knobloch and showed more emotion than Knobloch in the way he spoke. So, who do you want?
I'll tell you who I want. I want a bit of a more emotional leader. I do. But everybody to each their own. And I understand the general sentiment is that, well, eventually the yelling, and I'm not saying yelling per se, emotional at the right times and being able to get something out of your players. Now, we don't know what happens behind closed doors.
And again, the way he chooses to answer questions is not his entire personality. That is a guy who has been in hockey his entire adult life, going back to the WHL and the Golden Bears. I mean, he would have been doing interviews as a player and then got into coaching. So that is someone who has decided how he's going to present himself to the media, right? It's not necessarily how he's presenting himself to the players. I'm sure that is an element of Knobloch's personality. I just always say to when people say, well, why doesn't the coach get angry? Why doesn't the coach come out and just rip him? Well, okay. So when Koskinen gave the puck away behind the net against the Rangers a few years ago, and the Rangers scored, and Tippett came out and said something like that was a bad play, the fans got mad, Koskinen's agent got mad. So, again, the reason, and I'm sorry, everybody, if I'm being a little contrarian about this, but it's just like if your team is losing, you're going to be upset. That's whatever the coach says. Like you're just looking for things to get upset about.
But that statement was right for that player at that time. And look, where's Koskinen now?
Well, I'm just going back to one play that rang a bell.
But,
right?
Yeah, and you don't get to call players out all that often.
Well, and this is what Rob always used to say. He said a player couldn't call out a coach. So a coach shouldn't overly call out a player. Like if a coach is asked about a player or says that player needs to be better or we're working with that player, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if a coach comes out and says, that was just a bad, stupid play and should never happen, Rob thinks as a former player that would be excessive. Like Rob says, if I go 7 games without a point and I'm on the top line, the coach wants to say we need Rob Brown to produce, Rob's would be that's fair. If he comes out and says, man, oh man, Rob is lazy and we can't afford to have a guy like that on the team, Rob says that's not fair because he can't go to the media and say, I can't believe this clown didn't call a timeout when we needed to pull the goalie. He wants it fair both ways. Just saying. I'm one of those guys. I'm rarely, just for me, and again, you can. That's fine. I'm not telling that text or anybody what to say. I'm just saying if they're writing in stuff like that to get me to have a response, that's kind of usually my response. We don't necessarily know how the coach acts behind the scenes. And most coaches approach, if their team is struggling, their approach is I have to teach and instruct and motivate and find what angle I'm going to push this player from to get them to improve and play better. Their approach is not, I wonder how hard I have to yell and how angry I have to get for the team to play better. I think that's how most coaches approach it nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, but T-Man says Glenn Sather would have benched a soft player. Sad times these days.
Okay, but here's the thing. Knobloch benched Leon Draisaitl. Everybody,
yep.
2 shifts. Yes, he didn't sit him down for the rest of the game because he still wanted to win the game and realized he wanted Leon to do that.
Didn't do it to Bouchard.
But yeah, fair enough. He was also, he held Corey Perry out of games in the playoffs. Ryan McLeod didn't play every game in the playoffs. Ward Fogel didn't play every game in the playoffs. So again, you can't just bench everybody. You can't. Well, half the team's playing bad. Well, we'll play next game with 10 players. That's idiotic. So again, I'm not saying you can't criticize the coach. Criticize the coach. So he never benches anybody. Yes, he does. He benched Leon Draisaitl. 2 shifts, but he still sat him down. It used to be, Tippett will never bench anybody. Woody will never bench anybody. Knobloch benches anybody. I didn't bench him long enough. What do you want? All right. Good?
Yeah. I'm really good.
We got a break and we got the Coupe. And then we got my top 3 things Edmontonians say to feel better about the winter for Fuge.
Get all the latest news and takes on everything Oilers with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola on the Oil Stream. Live at noon, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Book your holiday party at the CBH today. The Canadian Brewhouse is your ultimate destination for events, parties, fundraisers, and more. 'Tis the season to celebrate. Visit and book now in-store or at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
In life, it takes a village. From childhood to your golden years, we all need support. At Capital Care Foundation, we've built that village for our 2,100 seniors. Join us in creating a nurturing environment that feels like home and fosters community connections. Your donation makes a difference. Visit capitalcarefoundation.net today and become a vital part of our village. Because together, we can make every stage of life a shared journey. Be a part of the journey. Support Capital Care Foundation.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems. But did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
In the NFL, it was the Lions squeaking past the Bears 23-20, and elsewhere, the Cowboys just scored a touchdown moments ago with the extra point to double up the Giants 20-10 with about 11 minutes left in the third quarter. And after that, it's the Dolphins battling the Packers, where you can join Lieutenant Eric for Thursday night football action at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge with kickoff at 6:20. And according to EST's very own Jason Milne, former Stamps assistant head coach and longtime special teams coordinator, Mark Killam is the leading name for the vacant Elks head coach position. No NHL games today, with the Oilers facing the Utah Hockey Club tomorrow night. The WHL sees 10 games on the schedule, including the Oil Kings meeting with the Hitmen. The Canadian men's soccer team will end this year at a team best 31st in the FIFA World Rankings. Canada's previous best was back in 2022, placing 33rd in the world. The Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne resumes. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
Maybe we just don't belong. I say we set it on fire. Maybe we just don't belong. I say we set it on fire.
Good. All right. Thanks a lot for tuning in. 780-218-9999 is the EST inbox. You can jump into the nasty chat on YouTube as well. Give us a thumbs up as well. T-Man says, what bothers me most is that Reid grew up at the same time as me, I think. Ha ha. I don't even understand what that means. All right. What do we got? Oilers tomorrow at Utah. 7 o'clock game. 6 o'clock Oil Stream pregame show with Tom and Hernan. They're wonderful. And then they'll be on after the game as well. Oilers finally back at it. Have not played since Saturday. William Mikespear says, hey, Reid, you wanted emails. It's time for some grown-up talk. Let's get serious. Better Def Leppard album, Pyromania or Hysteria. My favorite is Hysteria. But I think we'll dive deeper into that some other day. Maybe in the summer. We'll do like a whole week of music shows. That'd be fun.
Oh, yeah. I was talking to Zach about that today, and I think we'd have to go decade by decade.
In terms of what?
Bangers. Our favorite songs from the 80s on.
Oh, yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I'd love to do that.
Mine in the 80s
favorite music videos.
The Sesame Street song for the 80s because I was
That's
so young.
Your favorite song from the 80s, the Sesame Street theme song.
Had to have been.
Okay. I can't argue with that. It's your favorite.
That or the Inspector Gadget theme song.
Was that do-to-do-to-do? Inspector Gadget. I never watched Inspector Gadget.
I loved Inspector Gadget.
He was like the Bionic Man for kids, wasn't he? Was he bionic? Why was he built that way?
His body was just a mystery. I don't know how they packed so many contraptions into that under that gray trench coat that he wore. He could do anything. Go Gadget arms. Go Gadget copter, and his head would turn into a helicopter. Yeah,
and we don't know why he was. Was he CIA? What was he? Special Forces?
Yeah, was he a cop? I think he was a cop.
He was like RoboCop, and he got rebuilt.
I guess.
All right. Hope you're enjoying the show this afternoon. We are going to be on location at Sit and Sleep tomorrow. Where is that, in South Edmonton Common?
Yes, right beside Planet Fitness. We'll be there for Black Friday. All the savings you need. Free white glove service throughout the weekend on purchases over $4.99.
What is white glove service?
Well, setup, delivery, garbage removal, and disposal. So you come home from work and your brand new bed is set up with the mattress on it, ready to go.
That sounds tantalizing.
Maybe you should ask a certain place for white glove service.
I might have to. I might have to.
We'll say, hey, have you heard about Sit and Sleep?
Yeah.
They're giving white glove service.
Where are your
right
white
now.
gloves? All right, it is time for my top three, and this is one I really want you nasties to participate in. The top three for food sausages, the best sausages you will ever eat, locally made, packed full of flavor. Order online or visit them in store, 6736 99th Street. Take advantage of their EST discount. 10% off your order by entering the online code EST or mention Edmonton Sports Talk in store. Free delivery in Edmonton on orders over $100. As Food Sauces says, you can't beat our meat. Here is, well, it's more than three. The top three things Edmontonians say to feel better about the winter.
Yes.
I actually have 7 on this list. Reid's top 3 things Edmontonians say to feel better about the winter. Please send in your submissions to the text line or in the nasty chat or to the email. All right? Number 1. Well, I like having all 4 seasons. Or a variation of, well, it's neat having all 4 seasons, though. At least, some places it's like it never changes. We get all 4 seasons here.
Reid, I am so guilty of using that a lot. I always say, oh, I love that we have 4 seasons here. I enjoy them all. And I really mean it. I actually mean it.
But you mean it. But it's still something Edmontonians say to feel better about the winter.
Yeah.
Even if you mean it.
That's right. Yeah.
All right.
That's a good point.
Number 2. Well, yeah, but at least it's a dry cold. Everybody's heard that. Oh, have you ever been into, by one of the Great Lakes, like in Toronto? Like it's -5, but it feels like it's -30. Like you're chilled to the bone. Like here, you can just go outside, and then the minute you go in, you warm up. Like there, it's like you're cold for the entire day. So at least it's a dry cold.
There have been several emails or texts into the inbox that have said the same thing. But it's a dry cold. But it's a dry cold. But, okay, here's the deal. You go to Vancouver, it's different. The cool is different there. Like, it could only be -5.
Right.
But it's really cold.
This
whole list is just things I say.
Another thing Edmontonians say to feel better about winter. It's my top 3, but I have more than 3. Well, this just makes me appreciate summer even more. Yeah, or those like, well, just thinking, in 12 weeks it'll be plus, or well, 6 months from now it'll be. I'm guilty of that one. Well, 6 months from now it'll be light out until 11. I'm guilty of that one.
There are some bangers coming in that we're gonna have to get.
Well, give me a couple right now.
Okay, Norman at Combine says, "Boys, it's better than hurricane season." Right, so you could.
That's what people. Well, at least we don't have hurricanes.
That's right.
Which there is some validity to that.
Vix, he says, it may be cold, but at least the sun is shining.
I've said that too. Yeah. Well, it's -20, but it's sunny. It's clear. Though this past week, I feel like I haven't really seen the sun. It's been overcast.
Yeah.
And cold and snowy.
Supposed to warm up. Oh, that's one.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be, it's going to be +9 on Tuesday.
I actually said that like legitimately to you, but that's one that should be on the list.
Yes.
It's supposed to warm up next week. It's like when you hit an errant golf shot and you can't see where the ball lands, and some guy in your foursome says, "Oh, it opens up over there."
Yeah, and there's like a dragon's pit. On Tuesday, it's supposed to be +10,
so it's gonna warm up.
Yeah, it'll get better. Well, yes, it will get better. But continuing, my more than top 3 things Edmontonians say to feel better about winter. Well, it wouldn't be Christmas without snow. Actually,
again,
in most of the world, it is. It's December 25th, and they don't have snow.
That just came in. AB in the nasty chat. But Christmas wouldn't be the same without snow.
That's awesome. Les Sweet says, according to the Weather Channel, there is no such thing as a dry cold. I did not know that, Les. Please expand on that. Well, winter makes us tough. That was your suggestion.
Yeah.
Something like that. Well, yeah, just, you know how tough you got to be to live in these harsh climates?
Oh, these are great. Getting pictures in of, people with alligators in their backyards from like Dave. This is why I live where the air hurts my face.
Yeah, because they're like in Australia, a giant spider won't come into your house and steal your puppy.
Yeah.
Kelvin in the nasty chat. In southern Alberta during a Chinook, I knew an old fellow that would say, at least you don't have to shovel the wind. That's pretty good. Another thing Edmontonians say to feel better about the winter. Oh, good night to stay inside and watch hockey, a movie, American Idol, whatever, fill in the blank. Good night to stay inside and do another interest. I'm guilty of saying that.
Well, I must say, like where we are we have horses and animals and a yard that needs to be maintained. The winter months is like way easier than not having to, mow the lawn, weed the garden, trim the edges of the whole property, weed whack. I mean, my wife does everything there. She's very capable of it, but it takes a lot of time.
Josh emailing in saying, you can dress up for the cold. You can only dress down so much in the summer. And then he says, P.S. I'm from Nova Scotia, and humid cold is much worse. But that is something people say. Well, at least in the winter, you can put on more layers. In the summer, if you're hot, you just eventually can't take off any more clothing.
True.
I guess that's true. And then the last one I have, things Edmontonians say to feel better out the winter. Well, aren't you glad we got that fireplace?
Man, Reid, I'm
so
guilty
thankful
of
to have a
every
fireplace.
one of those.
You've said all of these. I've said a few of them.
I specifically went to Costco right after our show yesterday.
Yes.
To buy a new TV for the basement. You know why? Because we have a wood-burning fireplace down there.
Oh, no way.
And I loved using it. But it's nice to be down there, like tonight, watching an NFL game or on Sunday afternoon, putting the NFL on, having a fire going. Man, I am a little bit romantic about winter. I don't know if my wife will agree.
But if you're romantic or romantic about winter?
Romantic about winter.
Okay.
I'm
Because you're very romantic.
Very. You know that.
I can tell. You give off that vibe.
Yeah. That's why I got my wife flowers last night from Costco as well. Best flowers in the business, by the way.
Yeah, that was a good one. All people have said all those things. I have said some of those things, but we do say things. But I'm very much guilty of, not guilty of, but my perspective is okay. It's a finite length of time. Even
Yes.
if it's cold into April, there still will be really nice weather at some point.
See, once you get into the middle of January, you're really only 2 months
you
out.
You can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah.
I usually, the winter solstice, December 21st, then you're at the top. Then the days get longer.
But I do think there is that sort of guilt-free hibernation / even laziness. Not necessarily laziness, but you know what it's like. It's nice outside, and maybe you don't have a lot of energy that day. Or maybe that book on the shelf has been calling to you for months, but you feel like, okay, I got to go outside. I got to get outside.
That is
but
so true.
Winter allows you to just say,
yes.
Okay, you know what? It's minus 30. I'll walk a block to pick up milk from the convenience store. That's all I need to do. I don't need to run the other errands today. It's too cold to go out and fix the gate, or the couch is fine today. It's okay.
I agree.
Or whatever. Or doing something in the house, or getting something done in the house. It limits your options, which sometimes I think as humans isn't bad because we're always like, I got to do this, and sometimes it's minus 30. It's like, okay, outside is ruled out.
Yeah.
What do I need to do inside? And maybe it's still a chore or a task around the house. It's like, oh, you know what? I got to check that cupboard and why the door won't close. Today's a good day to do that inside job because on June 12th, I won't want to be on my hands and knees under the kitchen sink. I'll get it done today. It'll take an hour, and then it's cuddle up on the couch time under a blanket or watch a movie.
That is such a good point, Reid.
Yeah. T-Man says couch and movies day.
Yes. Well, even with the kids, though, you got to be outside with them. So,
do your kids like to go outside when it's cold?
Oh, yeah.
They do, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Just doing whatever? Did they toboggan or?
We just picked up Commando. Remember I was telling you my buddies and I used to do Commando where we would go through the ditches in our snow outfits?
Oh, yeah.
My daughters and I did it a couple weeks ago. We went out and we went in the back trees and just kind of looked around. We actually found an old lean-to that was built.
But, oh yeah, you showed me that. But is there a point where the kids would say, too cold?
Nope.
Or they'd be like, time to go in.
Yeah,
let's go in,
There's
Dad.
time to go in. There's never the too cold because the excitement's always there to go outside.
To go outside initially.
And do something. But then it's just a matter of time before it's, okay, time to go back in.
Right.
And then it's hot chocolate and all that fun stuff. Vic, he's on fire today. It may be winter and cold, but it makes it that much more enjoyable to go away on a warm vacation.
And Les says there's no difference between dry and wet cold weather, as the amount of humidity in cold air doesn't significantly change how cold it feels. This is because colder air can't hold as much water vapor. That's true. Oh, my goodness. Speaking of a warmer climate.
This is the last time we're doing this.
This is the last qualifier we're going to have for the EST Flyaway to LA. I'll give the keyword first today. Text it in, 780-218-9999. You're rocking
Saying
back
goodbye.
to... It's like you're swaying back and forth to Bring It On the Heartbreak at a concert.
Yeah, sad.
The keyword is cleats. as we are qualifying the final qualifier, final person for the EST Flyaway to LA presented by the 780. You are hoping to win a trip for two to LA from December 26th to the 30th with hotel and rental car, tickets to see the Clippers play the Warriors, the Rams play the Cardinals, and an NHL game featuring Edmonton. The trip is being given away on the Nielsen Show tomorrow morning. All presented by the 780, a homegrown local shop right here in Edmonton. 780, both the shop name and their in-house clothing brand that celebrates all things unique to E-Town. They also work with close to 100 local vendors from the 780 area code to help promote and get their brands off the ground. Check them out online, 780.com, the word 7, number 80.com, or at any of their 5 locations, Southgate, Londonderry, Kingsway, St. Albert, and the Outlet Mall by the airport. The keyword is cleats. We will talk to our qualifier. We got the Coob with a sports update.
In the NFL, the Lions beat the Bears 23-20, and right now it's the Giants trailing the Cowboys 27-10, with the Cowboys just scoring a touchdown moments ago with under 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Later, it's the Dolphins kicking off against the Packers, where you can join Lieutenant Eric for the action down at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge on Fort Road. Kickoff for that game goes at 6:20. And according to EST's very own Jason Milne, Mark Killam, former special teams coordinator and assistant head coach for the Stampeders, is the leading candidate for the Elks' vacant head coach position. The NHL has an off day today with the Oilers in Utah tomorrow, and in Calgary tonight, the Oil Kings face off against the Hitmen on a 10-game WHL slate. In soccer, FIFA has placed the Canadian men's team at 31st in the world rankings to end the year. This is the highest ranking Canada has received, with number 33 being the previous best back in 2022. Just after the break, we bring up our final qualifier for the EST Flyaway to LA. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
Wake up with the Nielsen Show with Dustin Nielsen and Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Ready for an unforgettable sports experience? It's the EST Flyaway to LA. Presented by the 780. Listen daily for the EST Flyaway keyword. Once you hear it, text us at 780-218-9999 for your chance to qualify to fly to LA. Round trip flights for two, hotel and car rentals, all to go see Edmonton face off against either LA or Anaheim. Plus, experience the brand new Intuit Dome as the Clippers tip off against the Warriors, and top it all off with the Rams kicking off against the Cardinals at SoFi Stadium. This is more than just a trip. This is the ultimate sports experience. The EST Flyaway to LA, presented by the 780 and Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Having a fun time. Of course, Jay Milne reporting that Mark Killam has the inside track to be the next head coach of your Edmonton Elks. Oilers traveling to Salt Lake City today. They play Utah tomorrow. Zach Hyman coming along, but not expected to play tomorrow. Maybe on the road trip. He did travel with the team. We're going to get to our qualifier for our fly away to LA presented by the 780 in a couple of minutes. Jay and I and the Coob are in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown, personal injury law firm, the heavy hitters of injury law. With over 200 years of experience, James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. JamesHBrown.com. Book your private consultation today. All right. Well, we're going to have a mystery athlete of the game tomorrow. I got to get back to doing that. Haven't had one of those in a week. Got to think of somebody. And we are at Sit and Sleep tomorrow.
We are.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
We're going to have a blast.
We're going to sit and sleep.
Maybe we can go out after and hang out in South Common, just you and me.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it would be fun.
I actually seriously do have plans for the game tomorrow night. I'm not brushing you off like I usually do. You're always doing something after work. Going to basketball, handball. What do your kids do? Basketball, handball, gymnastics, wrestling, playing commando with you. Where else you're going to Costco?
Yeah.
Or you're going to Toys R Us or something.
Yeah.
You're a busy guy.
Busy dude.
You got your wife stealing your laptop or whatever happened?
Yeah. Rapscallion.
So, Mrs. Milne, how do you explain your fingerprints on the laptop then if you didn't take it?
Well, I was just carrying it to the bedroom.
Does she listen all day?
In and out, yeah. It's generally
so she
on.
may or may not have heard that.
Oh, she loves it. It's fun.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Because I'm just going to keep pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, let's do it. Reid, should we get our listener on?
Yeah, Coob's on. Before we get into the afternoon debate, we should catch up with our final qualifier for the EST Flyway to LA. Who do we have? Oh, he's on the phone still. Coob's really having quite a conversation here with the qualifier.
You're having a great talk there.
Don't worry about handing him off to us, Coop. We're all good.
I don't want to take your time, Zach.
Take your time, Coop. Why do you make plans with them for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Who do we have?
What do you guys got something planned for
Kelly,
tomorrow?
you impatient buggers.
Kelly?
Yes.
Kelly. All right.
Hello.
Hey, Kelly, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Congratulations on qualifying for the EST Flyaway to LA. Who would you take if you won the trip?
I will take my husband since he's made me text you guys like a bajillion times over the last couple months.
Oh, he's making you text. Why doesn't he text himself?
He does. He's qualified twice already.
Oh wow.
Goodness.
Well, now we're going to have a controversy on our hands. Kelly, well, this is awesome. Thanks for listening to the show, whether you're doing it willingly or not. Hopefully we're entertaining enough that you'll be back as a listener. What is something that
I listen to.
Oh, good. Okay. What is something that Edmontonians say or that you say to feel better about winter? Can you add to my list?
No.
Okay, that's fine. What's the worst thing you've ever forgotten to bring somewhere or left behind?
I've left my work keys at home.
Oh, no, and you couldn't get into work.
Yeah, I had to come all the way back.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of people feel your pain there. Okay. Well, Kelly, congratulations on qualifying. Be listening tomorrow morning to the Nielsen Show, and somebody's going to win the trip. We really appreciate it.
Awesome. Will do. Thank you.
That is Kelly checking in. Good stuff. So we're giving it away tomorrow.
Big day.
It's a big day tomorrow.
Big day. Yeah, in the morning, 6 to 9. Be listening.
And Nielsen's actually hosting the Nielsen Show all week. What a streak for him.
It's been going. I just don't want to talk about it too much. You know, we're going to knock on wood here.
Knock on wood. Well, because Gager's getting through something as well.
Yeah, Gager.
Gager's awesome. All right.
I don't know why I said that like that.
It is time for our afternoon debate presented by Edmonton Garrison Curling Club. If you and your team are looking for a fun, exciting way to build some chemistry, look no further than the Edmonton Garrison Memorial Curling Club. Located on CFB Edmonton, the Garrison Curling Club offers 6 sheets of ice, a full-service bar with kitchen, and includes all equipment needed for corporate bonspiels. The Garrison Curling Club is run by Nasties. As an added bonus, they will offer 10% off ice rentals to all EST listeners. Email curling@egmgolf.com. Mention EST to book your corporate bonspiel today. It is time for the afternoon debate, Mr. Milne.
Well, I want to talk to you about something that's drawn the ire of many people around here in the hockey community, and that's the Four Nations Cup.
Four Nations Face-Off.
Four Nations Face-Off.
Cup is a different event.
That tells you how much I'm
That's
looking
how interested you
forward
are.
to this.
Yes.
The Four Nations Face-Off.
Okay.
I don't, everybody's saying, oh, this is great because it's best on best. It's not best on best. It's Four Nations. Am I missing something?
Leon Draisaitl.
Clearly.
For one.
I just, best on best, okay, it would be like the Olympics. That's the best teams from around the world. And the other thing I don't know, and we'll debate this, but I don't get the point of this. I don't.
That's pretty blunt.
I don't understand why it's happening, why it's, I get it, is a replacement of the All-Star game. I heard today from Maddie that he thinks it's, the start of what would eventually get back to the World Cup of hockey
Yep.
But I don't understand this. I don't get it at all. It's not the best. I know that Connor McDavid and Sidney Crosby are playing together, so that's cool. But what do they get? Like, what does the winner even get? Do you get a prize? Do you get a trophy? Maybe a medallion?
You probably get a trophy. I don't know if there's money involved. I'm not sure. I love how you just say, what's the point of this? Well,
what's the point?
I guess if I have to debate you on it, the point is to have international hockey, to showcase players on their national teams, to get some of the best players in the world playing with
each other,
who will be their teammates, who wouldn't be their teammates under any other circumstance. And the point is, I suppose, to get people to watch hockey and everybody make money off it. Well, not the fans, but the TV deals and the broadcasters and the NHL make money off it. I guess that's the point of it. I understand what you're saying. This will not carry the weight of an Olympic medal, will it? So if Canada wins the Four Nations face-off and finishes last next year in the Olympics, or in 2026 in the Olympics, I don't think people are going to say, well, at least we won the Four Nations face-off. Equal footing, dude. EQ, EF, dude.
EF. This is what I think. It's the equivalent of the NBA in-season tournament. But at least in the NBA, they get a $500,000 check to each winner. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I'd like to know. I'd seriously like to know. Is there money involved here? Does the winning team get money? If not, I have no idea why this is happening. Why does Connor McDavid want to play in this cup where there's chances of risks of injury? They're jamming games into a weekend, essentially.
Well, it's over a week.
For what?
Well, I guess... look, I think
more
the players...
hockey, I guess there's the
the
perverts out there that just want hockey.
Oh, yeah, those pervs, eh?
Yeah.
I think most of the players probably are excited to participate because this is their job. So they get to be in a best-on-best tournament. Well, mostly best-on-best. Again, I was just looking at the World Hockey Rankings. Germany's actually higher than Finland for men's teams. But that's based on things that, not all NHLers would have been in. I think that, especially in hockey, there is the desire amongst younger players. They dream of playing for their country. If you're a young football player, so Tevin Jones, we just had on the show, growing up in Houston. I don't know him specifically, but I would think a young American football player growing up in Texas or Ohio or Pennsylvania or Florida or some of the other hotbeds for high school football or youth football don't dream about playing for the USA because, that doesn't have that. Even a basketball player, I guess now U.S. is in the Olympics, but you probably would more dream of playing in the NBA or for the Lakers or the Celtics. I think hockey is somewhat unique, and probably soccer would be like this too, especially, in other places around the world. You would grow up saying, I want to do this professionally, but I also want to represent my country in some of these big famous tournaments like the Olympics or a World Cup or whatever, right? So I don't think I would push back with you on the claim that do the players really want to do this? Because I think the players, at least to an extent, do. And they are back in the Olympics. Like someone was saying, how come the NHL players can do this but not the Olympics? They can. They are going to be back in the next 2 Olympics, right? That deal's been made.
Yep.
And this was part of that. Like, let's stoke the fire, right? Like, let's have you guys.
You don't need to
this.
stoke a fire for the Olympics. Team Canada versus Team USA on New Year's Eve for the World Juniors. That you don't need anything,
right?
I know why this is happening, and it's all about money.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's gross. Because it's not, I get it. You want to play for Team Canada, sure. Do you think Connor McDavid grew up dreaming of playing in a 4-team tournament called the Four Nations Face-Off playing for Team Canada?
But I think I think they're positioning it with the players as, okay, let's do this, and then next year there's the Olympics. Okay, so get through this, get tuned up, do that kind of stuff. But I mean, I see some of the stuff, nobody's saying anything that's wrong in the nasty chat. And actually, I agree with a lot of what Jay is saying, but I'm playing devil's advocate.
But is this actually Team Canada? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they're not going to pick the Olympic team off of this,
right? This is a made up tournament. Ooh, it's Team Canada. Look at us play.
But you could have said that about.
About what?
Well, you could say the Olympics is a made-up tournament.
That's your point.
Oh, let's race in the
Olympics
nude.
have been around for...
Heck, so they could race in the nude. Didn't they used to compete in the nude, like in the old-time Olympics?
Oh,
the ancient games?
Well, this year we're going to tweak the Olympics. Everybody must compete in nude.
But I mean, if you're going to argue about the validity of any competition, like any competition is made up and arbitrary.
Not the Olympics have a lot of tradition and history.
Yeah, true. I agree. The Four Nations. So you win the Four Nations face-off. Okay.
Yeah. What do you celebrate?
Then you're back in the NHL in 2 days.
Is it
playing
like
St. Louis? Yeah.
Is it a cup? Is it a?
I don't even know what they're getting. There's probably something that I don't know about.
Some sort of a.
I'm going to pitch something here because somebody just said, "Aren't there rule changes?" Overtime will be 3-on-3 in the round robin games. Overtime will be 3-on-3 for 10 minutes. I think they want to see how that works. Now watch, there won't be a tied game because I think that might be on the horizon in the NHL, that they lengthen overtime to 10 minutes to try to further get rid of shootouts. So maybe they're thinking, let's see how it works in this tournament. Now there's only 6 games. And then the final, the 7th game, is 5-on-5 unlimited overtime. So maybe that's something that they hope a game goes to overtime and goes longer than 5 minutes, and they see how it goes, how the fatigue works, how the coaches handle it, if more players get involved, things like that. So maybe that's just something to store away in the back. But that's not why the tournament is happening, obviously.
Start 3-on-3 for 5 minutes.
They do.
2-on-2 for 5 minutes.
You want to do that like minor hockey week?
1-on-1 for 5 minutes. You won't get to a shootout.
No, you would not get to a shootout. Winning the face-off would be quite important.
It would be. It would eliminate the shootout.
Yeah, and like Smith, is Smith TM14? Is that how he likes to say it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, the games are in Montreal and Boston, so only 2 cities get games. It's not like they're going... You could just play these in the 7 Canadian cities across Canada, but they got to have stuff in the States, I guess.
Yeah, I just, it's Team Canada.
Once it starts, you're going to be into it.
I To TBD,
Or maybe
bro.
there'll just be nothing else to watch.
TBD, bro.
There'll be nothing else to watch.
Well, it's in February, right?
It's in February. It's still over 2 months away, and they're picking the teams on Wednesday.
Yeah, because that makes a lot
Which
of
is
sense.
way too far ahead of time.
That's a joke in itself. This tournament's a joke because they're announcing the teams 2 months in advance. I guess they would for the Olympics. I'm not trying to poo-poo on this. I'm just trying to find clarification as to why it even exists.
Yeah, they just decided to have it, basically.
Well, okay.
It's just that they want to have best-on-best tournaments. I think they feel the best way to market hockey globally is to have games broadcast internationally that feature the best players, okay? It's not Seattle against Nashville on a Tuesday night, and that's the game that goes around the world. They want to say, we had a game with McDavid, Matthews, Crosby, McKinnon, a couple of Hugheses, you know, and then maybe people think, oh, these guys are all in the NHL. Now I'll watch the NHL. So, yeah, money and marketing is a big reason behind this. But that's why they're in the Olympics, too. I mean, why? Like, there's financial benefits to shutting down the season.
The one point that you cannot argue is there's much more of a sense of pride for the Olympic men's or women's hockey team than there is for this Canada Four Nations face-off team.
Oh, I would agree with that.
Right?
Yeah.
So that there makes a strong statement in its own accord.
Right.
So
yeah.
you, like me, don't care.
Well, I'll care. I'll care because it will be cool to see the power of the teams that it is going to be in there.
Yes, yes.
And Sweden and Finland will be good too. Like I
Yes.
think the Americans are favored. Gager and Cassian didn't agree with me. They were like, Reid, they haven't even announced the rosters yet. But anyway, JCD 780 says, I think it's going to be a half-assed effort. Players want a break during that time, not to play hard games. I talked about that yesterday. I'll disagree with that, though we'll see. I think the guys that are in the tournament are going to play hard. I think once you put that jersey on and you look around the room and you see all the other great players in your dressing room, you're going to think, I don't want to let myself down. I don't want to let these teammates down. I'm wearing the Maple Leaf. I don't want to let down, Auntie Janelle and Timmins, or whoever.
Timmins,
I don't know why I picked
you
Timmins.
Had to bring up Timmins.
I should have picked Hythe. I don't want to let down, Uncle Jesse and Hythe. So I think I think it's going to be an intense tournament. I actually do. At least by the time they get to the final.
Okay, but here's the thing too, Reid, is these are professional hockey players going against each other. Some of them may even be teammates.
Yep.
Actually, quite a few of them will be teammates. You're telling me that they're going to go into the corner and play as hard against their top line center back when they're playing
like
for the Jets?
Ekholm and McDavid in a puck battle?
Yeah, you think Ekholm's taking him into the boards? Hell no. He's letting him have the puck. I ain't touching my... Can you imagine? And I don't... You guys figure this out for yourself because I don't... Obviously would never wish injury on anybody, but can you imagine an unfortunate circumstance where that were to happen?
Josh
from
Morrissey
teammates?
hits Kyle Connor or something like that.
Like... What do you...
It could happen.
Thank
But
goodness.
in the Olympics, you'd be fine with it, though.
Thank goodness the Oilers stink. Because they are sending
I
far
think
less...
McDavid's going to be the only guy on Team Canada.
Thank goodness.
And as we said, I think Ekholm would have a chance on Sweden. I don't think it's for sure. Portions of this hour are presented by the Canadian Brewhouse. Book your holiday party at the CBH today, your ultimate destination for events, parties, fundraisers, and more. 'Tis the season to celebrate. Visit and book now at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. Help us get to 100 thumbs up on YouTube. We started well. Dropped off a little bit. Let's get a final push. Let's get all the pleasure delayers jumping in there. We're back for the final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
In the NFL, the Lions squeaked past the Bears 23-20, and right now it's the Cowboys up 27-13 over the Giants with about 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Later, the Dolphins get set to face the Packers, having Lieutenant Eric down at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge for 6:20 kickoff. And according to EST's very own Jason Milne, former Stamps assistant head coach and longtime special teams coordinator, Mark Killam is the leading name for the vacant Elks head coach position. No NHL games today, with the Oilers back in action tomorrow against the Utah HC. And tonight in the WHL, there's a 10-game slate, which sees the Oil Kings meet with the Calgary Hitmen. The Canadians men's soccer team will end the year at a team best 31st in the FIFA World Rankings. Canada's previous best was back in 2022 at 33rd in the world. The Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne continues after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
Black Friday at FXR Edmonton is the place to shop for the best deals of the year.
Whether you're looking for snowmobile apparel, riding gear, workwear, or a new jacket for looking stylish around town,
FXR Edmonton is the place to be. Door crasher deals up to 80% off, and the entire store is on sale, so don't miss out.
the best deals of the year. Black Friday at FXR Edmonton, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Come see us at 324 Mayfield Common.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
At Mind 360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind 360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind 360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key, influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. Oilers and Elks, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the Association, Formula One, soccer, golf. Oh, sweet mama! The excitement is palatable on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website and send a message at edmontonsportstalk.com.
All right, hope you're having a great afternoon. Thanks for participating in the program, whether you've been texting, emailing, jumping into the nasty chat. We got a little bit of a surge of thumbs up since I mentioned it. We still got to get to 100. Kind of an odd day today with the pace of the thumbs up. So give us one if you have it, or call your grandma and say, Grandma, go into YouTube and give these weirdos a thumbs up, because we want to keep our streak alive of getting to 100, and maybe we'll get a bag of chips or a single chip to share from Dustin Nielsen.
Do it.
So Dustin Nielsen.
Do it.
So you and I have been posting these videos of me scoring on this basket as part of show promos. He put, I remember seeing it before. He tore his ligament or something dunking at 1260.
I think
he
it was
jumped over something and dunked and crashed into
MCL?
a door and legitimately hurt himself quite badly.
Yes.
He put it on his Twitter account. He put my quick dunk is like 4 seconds, and then he has about 5 minutes of him dunking and writhing around in pain. Maybe not 5 minutes.
That was at the old place with some of the members of the Bear. I know Yukon Jack was in there like a dirty shirt.
Yeah.
He's really hurt. He's actually hurt.
Yeah, we're not fooling around. He is injured.
I wonder how.
That was an ambitious dunk attempt, because we've kind of decided here, okay.
That is in my mind.
Well, people can tell how tired I get just from doing simple things involving some walking to the hoop. The one that I jumped, that was limited risk of injury. I wasn't going over anything or crashing into a door.
The headbutt or the head.
I could have concussed myself.
Yeah, and that one did take about a while. And
that one took a few takes.
You were a little gassed. It happens.
Yes.
It happens.
Well, I'm in terrible shape. The afternoon debate, of course, is presented by Edmonton Garrison Curling Club.
I want to keep this debate going, Reid, because I wanted to ask you something today.
Okay.
And Nasties, please chime in and help us get there. We're approaching 100. We've got 12 minutes to do it. I think we're going to do it, Reid.
It's like we're on a telethon. Your thumb can make a world of difference.
Okay, Maddie brought this up earlier. And do you want me to? Well, I'll just ask you this.
Okay.
U.S. Thanksgiving's today.
Yes.
NHL, nothing's being played. What do you think of Canada hosting regional games this day? So like Calgary versus Edmonton.
Yeah.
Or Edmonton, Vancouver, Winnipeg, Ottawa, Montreal, Toronto, and have a triple header.
I think that the TV networks and the NHL would say we already have Hockey Day in Canada, usually in February, right?
But don't the TV networks like to make money?
They do.
Okay. This would outsell the U.S., the Thanksgiving hockey or football in Canada, being that it's a hockey triple header.
What Hockey Day in Canada this year coming up on January 18th, 25th anniversary. Going to be hosted by Canmore. What are the games that day? They don't have a list of the games. I'll have to check.
Hey, you can keep your Hockey Day in Canada. This is not associated.
So it wouldn't be a quadruple
this
header.
This is Thanksgiving.
This would be, there's 4 games tonight.
Yeah, this is,
So some American teams, so they're all in Canada.
Yes, and they're regional.
Right, so you could have
Toronto,
Calgary
Montreal,
and Edmonton, Toronto, Montreal.
Ottawa, Winnipeg.
And then Vancouver.
Somebody would get left
Seattle.
out. Or, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Or Utah, a team without a NFL team. Is there an NFL? No, there's no NFL team in Utah.
But, it's not a matter of, we got to give these players a day off. I mean, they play on Christmas. It's not, and you get paid well to do what you do. So, deal with it.
Well, I guess we'd have to ask our listeners that, right? Would they sooner watch Oilers Flames or conclude the NFL triple header with Packers?
Well, JCD 780 makes a great point. He says, because we still have to work, which is true. But I know a lot of people.
But all the games are in the evening. The hockey games are in the evening. You're not sick because we.
Let's say they start early. It goes at 3, 5, and 8. So regionally, it would be 5.
No,
7,
I think you still just start them at 7 Eastern, 7 local. Because if they're only broadcast regionally anyway, so Hockey Day in Canada.
No, they're broadcast across the nation. You can sit at home and watch all 3 games in a row.
I don't think you'd have a triple header. I would just say you'd have them on the separate sports set. Hockey Day in Canada is Boston, Ottawa, Toronto, Montreal, Calgary, Winnipeg, Edmonton, Vancouver. That's on January 18th. I don't mind that. Now, another thing, and again, I'm playing devil's advocate, the NHL would say, we only have so many dates to play so many games. We need Edmonton to be on the road that week. Calgary's on the road.
Okay, so then let's say this. You have 2 games that night because it's going to move around year to year based on schedule.
Just like Calgary, Edmonton, and Toronto, Montreal.
Where you can start at 5,
Ottawa, Vancouver,
you can
whatever.
have a 5 and 8 o'clock doubleheader.
Yeah.
Regionally, East Coast, West Coast. Why not?
Those are the only 2 games.
Those are the only 2 games, and they're specifically Canadian teams and specifically rivalry markets.
Games that they're not going to be on in the States anyway.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't mind that idea.
And nobody in the States cares anyways because they're watching football. So
there's always Thursday night football
Give
anyway.
something to the Canadians. We
made it to 100. Thank you, Nasties. You rallied for us.
Wow.
God, I love all of you.
Wow, that deserves 2.
Well, I love most of you and tolerate a few of you. No, I'm joking.
But what do you, I like that. I like the premise of it. Maddie brought it up on the Hangout.
He had a good idea?
Yeah.
What?
He's had a hard day.
Did he?
Well, did you see the ESD crib league
Yeah,
standings?
he'll never win a crib game. I like what you're saying, though. Like, why just concede the entire day to the NFL?
Yeah.
When really it's more one country than the other.
But like this comes into the ESPN box. Doesn't say a name. Please include your name. I'll tag it in here.
Give yourself a handle.
Oilers and Flames all day before the NFL, but I'm a hockey guy. How many thousands and thousands of Canadians are this guy?
Yeah.
That don't give a damn about what's on the NFL. I like the NFL.
As do I.
But I'm in a minority. I understand that.
But I'd watch Oilers Flames.
Most Canadians would sooner watch hockey than they would.
And there's already a game every Thursday night.
Yes.
But if the Oilers are playing, I'm watching the Oilers. Now, you might say, well, Reid, part of that is because of your job. Fair enough. But that's still, I would watch. I would think, okay, Miami, Green Bay. Woohoo!
Well, I mean, I'm vested in watching it now because Spency, 5 Centsy and I are going to go 2-0 on our 3-leg parlay.
Do you win partial money if the third one doesn't come in?
No.
Okay.
You gotta nail it because the Giants are down 13-27 to the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, I would agree with that. Have games in Canada today in the NHL.
And
Don't
Haas,
just give up the entire day.
Haas says I'd watch the Thursday Night Football. So would I, Haas. But you could watch the
Over
Thursday
an
Night
Oilers
Football.
game?
No, not over an Oilers game because it's now my job.
Right.
Try telling your wife that. Norman, a combine was a pleasure to layer right to the end, he says. And Reid, let's get some conversation going. Let's how do I say this? This is a gift to you nasties. From Reid and myself.
Oh, I got a gift?
Yeah, we're
them?
giving them a gift for getting us over the hump to 100.
I'm more generous than I thought I was.
You are. You're not a Scrooge. You are, in fact, the giver of gifts, and this is it. Question of the day.
Yes.
What's the which active former Oiler would you like to see return to the Oilers?
Oh, are we doing this now?
Let's just do it.
We should do this more tomorrow, too.
Whoa, gosh.
Which players, so you can't say Ryan Smith or Gretzky in his prime.
Active.
Which active
Sorry, Zach.
former Oiler would I most like to see return to the team? Broberg. Are Broberg and Holloway discounted?
Why is this? Why are you not getting the one that I got?
So you have, and it's not Hall.
No.
Eberle?
No.
Okay, which active NHLer who was once an Oiler would you most... So now I'm not giving mine, I'm trying to guess yours.
Or we could just leave it as a cliffhanger till tomorrow.
Well, I won't get... There's so many guys
They
who
call
played
that
here.
a tease in the business.
There's so many guys who played here. So now I'm trying to guess Jay Milne. So he was a good player.
Yes.
And he would fit on this roster.
Yes.
And he would be affordable.
I didn't say anything about
Desharnais.
that. No.
He didn't say anything about that.
No.
Is it a goalie?
No.
So that means it's a defenseman or a forward.
Very astute.
What? I've learned the positions, everybody.
This is just another hopes and dreams thing. Like, we're not looking at no trades or salaries. I mean,
not Puljujarvi.
No.
Okay, good. Like, there's so many guys who used to play here.
Bro Nelson got it.
Oh, I don't want to look in there and guess. I don't know. Yamamoto.
No, but Yamamoto was picked up as a tryout for the same team.
Yeah. Utah.
Oh, sorry. Yamamoto played
on Seattle.
Yeah.
Well, Schultz isn't there anymore. Eberle, Larson. Oh, Larson.
Yes.
Adam Larson. Yeah, that is a good one. That should be the
the
number one
one
answer. That's the one.
Like, that's the only one.
Adam Larson. I would sooner have Adam Larson than Taylor Hall.
100%.
Thank you, Ron. Well, I didn't look at Ron. Ron Nelson's smart, though. He's always on top of the roster stuff. Norman, a combine, was saying maroon. Yeah, that is. If you could get Adam Larson, that's exactly what this team needs.
Wasn't it like close to happening, or there was talks about it in the summer or something?
No, he doesn't want.
He re-signed with Seattle.
No, because Edmonton is not a happy place for him because it's where his father died. Right? Like it's
okay.
Awful, it's awful what happened. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think he would want to come back here. But yeah, that's who the Oilers need. All right.
Like, jeez.
That's a good point.
That's
well done. That's well done.
Well done. Well job.
Was it Riley Sheahan, eh? Or Devon Shore? Devon Shore hit the post last week, remember? Played for Minnesota?
Devon Shore.
Or which game was that? Yeah, that was the Minnesota game. 780-218-9999 is how you text the show. Jump into the nasty chat on YouTube. Thank you for getting us now comfortably over 100 thumbs up. Norman, a combine, admitting to be a pleasure to layer today. you can always email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Really appreciate your emails today, especially your limericks. I'm glad that has taken off. So our live programming resumes at 6 a.m. with the Nielsen Show tomorrow. We're going to be giving away the trip for 2 to L.A. presented by the 780, the flyaway to L.A. So tune in if you've qualified to find out if you have won, and then you'll get contacted, as well. Boy, I burped. That's not good. We're live at Sit and Sleep tomorrow. Big thanks to Zachary Kubish. On behalf of Glue Guy, I'm Reid. Thanks for tuning in.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.